All right, we are live.
So last time, you guys went east, leaving the capital after spending 15 sessions there. You guys went east into the Sapphire Jungles. You provoked a tribe of Croclians, and were eventually rescued by Frenla of the Angry Hound tribe. They're a tribe.
Rescued is a strong word.
We didn't provoke them.
I think I might have killed one or two.
Oh yeah,
I
to cornfield with you.
We waved at them.
Friendly,
Provoked.
and they were like, "Fuck that chick."
I mean, we could say provoked, but I do think rescued is a strong
Easily
word.
provoked.
We're like,
The same way that Marcus provoked you when he said hi that one time.
That was so long ago. And nobody has let it go.
It was
And
a
we never will.
remarkable circumstance.
I feel like I'm missing a lot of context with this joke, but that's okay.
You're not really.
Okay.
That is the whole joke, literally.
Like we were
I
in
got into
chat.
Discord.
Thomas joined. Marcus said hi, and Thomas was like, "Fuck you," and Marcus was like, "What the hell?"
That's not what happened. Okay. I feel like I'm outnumbered here, and this retelling of the story is not accurate.
I'm going to accept this retelling of the story. This is now officially how it happened. It's been recorded and it will be on the internet, so it has to be true.
You're right. You guys met the Angry Hound tribe. They're druids who travel beneath the earth, chasing the ever-moving and shifting roots of Nanumas, the Tree of Life. You guys met Norma, the historian. The elderly goblin, you provided her with a void stone. And in exchange, she gave Boots a Rite of the Starseekers and gave you guys safe passage through the tunnels if you guys agreed to return with information about what you found, because they had some curiosity about the towers.
And then we proceeded to not do that.
Well, you guys, I think, plan on going back at some point.
Yeah.
We'll send him an email.
I told them I would send them an email, but or a mind email, and they said no.
Like, whoa, technology.
Yeah. These guys are basically the D&D version of Amish people.
You guys made your way to the tower, eventually encountering the celestial serpent spirit inside of it. You did battle with the serpent, narrowly avoiding a meteor swarm. And the serpent, upon defeat, blessed the Rite of the Starseekers that Boots has, and implored her to seek the blessings of both the eagle and the oxen if she wants enlightenment about her people. You returned home, met with the council, and had a very brief meeting so that no one could object with the council. Helbram was really shocked, but you guys didn't really give him a lot of chance to respond. You just kind of went, adjourned.
Are you the emperor? No. Shh.
Weird. Armsbuster was really stressed out about it because obviously she's been left there, and Nadali was just kind of like, okay, and gave you guys a weird look, like, what's the deal?
I think we kind of clued her in a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. You talked to her shortly, kind of briefly and vaguely, and I think you guys were planning on porting over to the border and then making your way out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we had portaled to the border, and I had used my reagents for that already. And I have plenty for the rest of our trip.
Alrighty.
Excellent.
So if we are needed quickly, I would send a message at some point to Nadali, giving her, whatever cursory explanation that I could give her, it would be very vague because it's only 25 words, but and that I would tell her that we'll have a more detailed explanation when we return, and that she can always message and we can always return if direly needed.
And we did give King Youngblood the amulet non-detection, right? That was the
Yes.
thing we did?
Yep. I paid for it and gave that to him.
That sounds like a rap name.
King Youngblood.
Oh my god.
I like this nice little instrumental Game of Thrones music. It's kind of nice.
It is.
All right.
Not quite the same anime battle music from last week.
I know, right? Was so
It kind of
intense.
was though. That's what's happening.
Like,
I like the one that sounded like Dynasty Warriors.
All right, so you guys port over. You would appear at kind of the teleportation circle that's at the wall. And would you guys have disguised the Emperor at all? Because if you guys just like walk through customs with the Emperor.
Oh yeah, 100%. Didn't we like dirty him up a little bit and give him, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
wait.
yeah, you guys had disguised him, but I didn't know if you
his
guys.
part to the other side of his head,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
so he looks completely different now.
Clark Kent.
I mean, it's a serious question. Is there anything about the Emperor that is like really stands out? Like I'm reading a thing on Peter the Great, and it's like he took a whole tour through Europe, but incognito. But he was like 6'7" at a time where everyone else was like 5'2", so everybody knew exactly who. Is there anything about the Emperor that stands out?
He looks very everyman.
That's what I was. So like, if we just kind of dress him nondescriptly, unless you really know who he was, he could probably pass. Is that accurate?
Yeah, the only things that people would see of him is going to be like art, and art's obviously like like Photoshop. Like it looks way better than you do in real life.
Sure.
And he's in armor and on horses and whatever else. So he definitely is almost unrecognizable unless someone like really knows him really well and is in close contact with him regularly. They're not going to recognize him.
Well, that's great.
So I will make the offer. Does anybody want to control the Emperor during this this little venture?
I mean, I assume you mean just in like combat and such, right?
Yeah.
I'm okay doing it, but I also think it would be frankly more interesting if you did it as part of us having to play off him, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Agreed.
But if you want one less thing to do, I totally get it, and I'm more than happy to do it.
I'm on a trackpad.
Yep. So obviously he can't do it.
Oh,
I'm also track padding.
oh my God, peasants!
How do you do it, Aaron? I just don't know.
The trackpad and the one screen.
With the trackpad.
I do it with the trackpad.
Actually, I lied. I hooked up my wireless keyboard or my wireless mouse because I have more than one USB port.
Damn.
I know. I
And-
felt like that
and
was
my
personal,
headphones.
Nicole.
Or just a headphone jack.
I think that one thing I probably would have discussed with the group is the idea of, at least trying to let the Emperor take a prominent role in any combat that we feel like isn't super dangerous that we, see along the way. Like, because this is an opportunity for him, it's an opportunity to try to get some life experience.
Yeah, I had a similar thought in that I don't think I would have used the word prominent so much as take part in. Maybe not necessarily a prominent role in, but like take part in. I would say I think it was more important for him to be prominent in the non-combat stuff and dealing with like people. Like he's going to be the leader of. He needs to know how people think, what they think of him. That was one of the things he said he wanted, right? Like what do people outside of the Emperor think? Outside of the Empire, think of the Empire and the Emperor. So I think we need to let him take the lead in the non-combat stuff, honestly.
And I guess there's two questions. One, did we do any training with him? I feel like that was something we mentioned.
I think
I
a little.
think it's something you were planning on doing on the road.
We feel him, felt him out like a little bit to see what he was capable of, but
He's
nothing beyond
capable
that.
of like on a scale of 1 to 20, like a 3 out of 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 out of
Because I
20, but
remember we
equipped like a
discussed
20
that.
out of 20.
Yeah, he has a
Yeah.
22 AC. Just
Yeah. Okay.
For the
No,
record.
I was gonna say so we would at least going in, not to over metagame, we would kind of know his capabilities, so we would be able to strategize where he should be in a fight.
yeah, I'll yeah,
At least
absolutely.
somewhat. Obviously you would still be in control of him, but just kind of hey, maybe you stand over there and not directly in front of the big bad guy that will crush you with one blow.
Yeah, just so you guys can totally know his capabilities and stuff. I'll just give you access to his character sheet. Like you guys don't have to control him if you don't want to, but there's all the stuff he can do.
Okay, and then the second thing is we're calling him Eddie.
Eddie or Edward.
Edward, yeah.
Edward. Okay, because I knew we didn't want to call him hey, Elwin.
Hey, Emperor Elwin.
Well, I mean, Eddie or Edward. Either one should work.
I mean, Boots will call him Eddie. So
Yeah.
We should call him Eddie. I'll call him Ed.
Edster.
Ed,
else
Ed,
we
and
call-
Eddie.
Yep.
Okay. And then I think other than that, I'm good to go. Whenever.
Cool. Well, you guys port over. The teleportation circle on the border is kind of like basically in what's essentially a dungeon. It's kind of down a flight of stairs, and there's like multiple kind of gates you have to pass through as you're going up the stairs. Kind of a pretty heavy guard presence. People aren't just like teleporting in left and right. That's obviously a pretty rare thing.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you aren't disguised though, right?
No,
No.
I'm not.
Yeah, so you guys poured in. A couple guards immediately look confused because like pretty much no one ever ports in. Like the guards here are not expecting people to port in, and they kind of look over at you or they go, identify yourselves, please. And you can see they're like really confused.
This is the Lord of Coin. We're passing through. Thank you.
Oh, Lord Decorin, it's an honor to meet you, sir. Then he stands at attention.
Thank you very much. I'll go shake his hand and ask what his name is.
Oh, my name's Pilgrim.
You already won the election.
Well, you know, they're all well. I'll make sure. Well, Pilgrim, thank you very much. I'll make sure to let you know if we ever do come back this way, so you're not so surprised next time.
Yes, sir. Lord of Coin coming through! And he calls up, and you hear it like echoed up through the various gates, and they all just like open up. And upon hearing this, you see someone coming down the stairs, and then they stop as they see you. Just a look of terror on their face. Norton Payne is there.
Aha!
He's the judge that you guys had been arrested by originally, who sentenced you to having to undergo that task for the Order of Azure, and now returning as his prisoners to now the Lord of Coin. You see, he just looks afraid.
Will be like, I thought you died. Congrats for not dying.
My lord, I wasn't expecting a visit from you.
Yes, well, we are venturing beyond the walls of the Empire, and seemed like the best route to take.
Of course, and I appreciate you letting me keep my station here, given that we had some hostilities the last time we met, and I hope we can let bygones be bygones.
Well, you know, in some ways I would say that you're directly responsible for us still being alive, in a manner of speaking, so no hard feelings then.
He looks like you see his face just like, whoo, like dodgeable. He's like, oh, of course, my lord, yes. I suppose you're here for the dog?
No, not really. We're on a task for the Emperor. And
Oh.
Kryn's trying to stand in front of the Emperor, so
Gotcha.
in case Norton recognizes the Emperor.
Oh, of course. I just assumed the dog just arrived this morning, so the timing seemed like you were here to meet. But never mind, I'll mind my business. Do you need any supplies for your journey? We could provide a cart, a horse, rations.
I believe a cart and horse would be very welcome.
What are you idiots standing around for? Cart and horse! And a bunch of guys just scramble off.
A riding horse as well, please.
And a riding horse! Eventually, a cart and horse is kind of all put together there.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, as you guys are kind of making your way to the main gate, you see kind of sitting at a side table, like an outdoor table, basically, like half asleep, with like a flask in front of him. You see Isaac Crane is there. He's got like all his travel bags and stuff. He looks like he's just gotten back into the Empire from the Borderlands.
Mm-hmm. Well, do we want to go speak with him, or do we want to attempt to avoid him?
I think we want to attempt to avoid him. Don't you think he would definitely recognize the Emperor?
Oh, he would definitely, yeah.
And he wants to tell people. He wants to be a barterer of information.
I'm gonna lean over to Jarsali and say, "Hey, see if you can hurry on ahead with the Emperor. I'll try to distract him, just in case. He's a pretty perceptive guy."
I'll turn around and say, "There's no need," and I will cast Seeming.
Ooh, interesting.
So the Emperor no longer looks like the Emperor.
Okay, does anything specific he looks like, or just like the most generic white man possible?
Generico white guy is his name.
Ron Smith.
Well, we'll still keep calling him Ed, but yes.
My name is Ron.
And I am now out of 5th level spells for the day.
Well, seeing that the Emperor is very well disguised now, I'm gonna let my curiosity get the better of me and walk over to
Crane.
Crane and sit down across from him and just kind of slam my fist on the table to see if I can startle him awake.
He comes awake with a snarl, just like.
I'm just gonna grin at him.
Bastard. You're too late. He's already gone.
He being who?
Oh, you're not here for what I thought you were here for. What are you doing here?
The Emperor had a mission for us, so we're doing that. Can't talk about it, unfortunately. What about you?
Same.
Really?
I want to
Eh.
see. I don't believe him. Does he giving away anything that
Make an
says he might
insight
be
check.
lying?
Just-
I'd like to as well.
Can I look him in the eyes while he's talking?
Yeah, of course. He doesn't seem like he's
14.
being totally honest. He's just like latching on to what you said.
Sure.
Mm.
Well, who is he?
Well, maybe the job was not so far directly from the Emperor, but from the General. He wanted me to send his boy, the Orc one, took him to the trench.
What is the trench? Do we know what that is?
You've never heard of it.
Kryn knows what it is.
Kern, you've never heard of it either.
Really?
Yep.
I thought that was in the gutter.
The trench isn't something you're familiar with.
Have I ever heard of it?
You can make a history check.
I haven't heard of the trench, and
24.
I'm from the Borderlands.
Kern, you haven't heard of it either.
Oh.
What about boots?
We'll just ask Eddie about it later.
Let's make a history check. Yeah, none of you have ever heard of it, which is weird.
Never heard of the trench, and I've been all over the Borderlands. What's the trench?
Gives you a weird look. How long have you been in the capital?
Few months, I guess. More than a year, actually.
You've been missing out on some big news in the Borderlands. The Gutter is no more. It has been rebranded, you could say. After the Howlers were defeated, the remaining 3 factions have been united under a new leader, and the Gutter has been redubbed as the Trench.
Who's this new leader?
All I know is that he goes by the Risen. He's one for the theatrics, I'm told.
Why did was it Tavarish? He just said he had brought him there.
Yeah, so Taraj was the leader of the Howlers.
Yeah.
There were 4 factions. There's the Howlers, the Couriers, who are like smugglers. There's Dust, and Dust is like an assassin network. And then the Ordained, who are people who specialize in magical weapon trafficking. And all 3 of those have been, it seems, united or dissolved into the Trench, is what they call themselves now.
So I'm gonna ask him why he brought the orc there.
Well, the general wanted to meet with this Risen folk and thought that Taraj being chief of the Howlers, the last Howler remaining, that he would perhaps have some weight to pull.
Fascinating.
So is it... Has the temperament of the city changed at all, or is it...
Oh, yes. It's no longer much of a city, it's more of a compound. With all of these factions united into similar goals, they are more coordinated. I'm not sure exactly what their plan is, but it's no longer a bunch of thieves running around. They have rank and order, and their trafficking is documented and
It's completely legitimate.
legitimate. No, they're smuggling magical weapons and illegal animals, and there's assassins. But they've fallen in order with this person, whoever they are. This
So they're organized now.
They've
Okay.
organized, yeah.
Yes, they are no longer killing each other over scraps. They are working together to be more productive.
I wonder if we should pay
Interesting.
that place a visit.
I wonder what their overall intentions are.
Well, it's a lot harder to get in, I'll tell you that. The trenchers aren't, they're a little more on edge.
I guess you could say they're more entrenched.
Haha.
He just looks at you and goes, "Yes, my lord."
So, this Risen guy, do you know anything about him at all?
I hear that they have a flair for burning people alive.
Fun.
Other than that, not much is known. They don't leave very much. There's a lot of information out there, but I suspect most of it is rumors intentionally spread to keep what's known and what's not known cloudy. Bit of a misinformation campaign around there is, and many legends being told. I have heard that it is a lich. I have heard that it is a far-off pirate. I have heard all sorts of things.
Is it a person named Winnie?
Named what? Sorry,
Winnie?
Winnie.
Yeah.
I don't know Winnie.
Okay. Because I feel like that would be her.
Is this Winnie person, you know, a powerful lich or assassin or aberration pirate?
She could be.
A lich assassin aberration pirate.
But
So
there's a
she's
lot of
there.
rumors.
Write that down, write that down.
Well, we'd probably best be on our way. Good to see you're still alive, I guess.
Thank you. Are you sure you don't need an extra hand on your journey?
Nah, we'll be fine.
Good. I didn't really mean it. I want to go home.
I know. See you, Crane. I'll get up and leave.
Skunk smells. Skunk smells.
Didn't I bring him a book, Thomas, on something he was reading? I brought him something similar.
You did. He was reading a book about... Oh, gosh.
You came up with a really good title, and I bought him something similar, or I recommended a book to him.
Yes, you did, and he was reading it, I think, the next time you encountered him.
Okay, I'm going to ask him about the book.
Oh, the
Hey,
book
so
is...
Joe Blow Book XA, how you digging that?
It is quite excellent. You are more well-read than me, but I am trying to learn on my travels. And he points to his sack, and you can see there's a handful of other books stuffed in there.
Anything good?
Not really. I've got, don't worry about it. He, kind of, almost embarrassed, closes the flap on his bag.
All right, well. You don't speak Sylvan, do you?
I don't even... Is that the language?
Never mind then. Good travels.
Gives a bow.
So would I know someone that works close? I mean, I would know somebody that works closely in the Archmage's tower, or in the Archmage's keep.
Yeah, you'd know the assistants.
Could I send a message to one to see if they would mind if I offered to send Crane home? If that would be acceptable for them.
You go ahead and ask. They don't seem to mind.
Okay. I'll offer to send Crane home via teleportation if you'd like.
Sure, why not? I've walked long enough.
Alright. I will cast Teleportation Circle at 6th level since I'm out of 5s. But I'll send him home.
He would graciously accept.
Now we get into a really big combat scene. Now that he's all out of 5th
Right.
level spells
Yep.
and missed a 6th level slot.
Well, friends, I think there's some things we need to discuss.
Such as?
Well, first of all, Eddie, any reason that you can think of that Helgrim would be clandestinely negotiating with the new leader of the Trench, apparently?
Let's wait till we're on the road to talk about that one.
All right,
Just
second
in case.
Second question. We were planning on going there, but now that we know so little about it, I don't know if it's a wise idea to take Eddie there.
I wasn't planning on taking
Oh,
Eddie
okay, well then,
to the gutter at all because that's
There
a
we
good
go.
way to get a knife in the back. But I am intrigued by what's happening there.
and why Helgrim is talking to those people.
And on the other hand, it would be good to know what's going on there, and might be good for Eddie to know what's going on there.
Absolutely, especially if he doesn't know why he's negotiating with a group of clandestine assassin thieves, magic weapon smugglers led by a pirate lich aberration.
I have a couple theories on who this person might be. Boots said one of them. My old mentor might be the other.
It's definitely Winnie.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to unravel this mystery on this trip. I would doubt.
Well, you never know.
I mean, you never know. But if we do, it's going to be more by happenstance than we're actively doing it, unless we happen to find something on the path that leads us down.
We might be able to ask around the other towns and see.
That's true. That's true.
Crane's idea of what they are might be very different than the local populace.
Sure. But he tends to have a pretty good beat on what's going on, although he could have just been lying to us.
He also tends to look at things through his own lens. Remember, I was a criminal to him, and I didn't do anything to warrant such an accusation.
Well, let's get on the road and ask Eddie about the old general there.
Yeah, we can ask and see if he has any thoughts on whether or not he wants to go there or not, too.
This old map.
Yeah, boy.
Throwback.
I miss
Throwback.
the map.
I have a map of this map. Still.
We,
Or the woods, I mean.
first stop should probably be Lavencaster, yeah?
Makes sense.
Or Lowry. Either one of the two.
Let's go to Lavencaster. We can get you a bugbear pie.
You guys actually own a windmill in Airedale?
Oh, yeah, we did.
I forgot about that.
Oh, do we have to go break it to that one chick that Carganto died?
When I was just going to say, you said bugbear behind you, I was going to be like, that sounds disgusting. Why in the world would I want to eat a bugbear pie?
Boots will get like quiet, sad, just like a memory. Good friend.
An old friend.
Yeah.
Old friend used to, well, he'd eat anything, and that's one of the things we had.
It was his favorite.
Actually did really well in the pie contest, surprisingly.
It's true. We never did find that guy again. I think he went crazy. I mean, he was crazy. He went crazier.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
Moving on.
So the main ways to get to Lavencaster are to head south and take a boat. You guys can pass through the ruins of the Elbury battlefield if you wanted. That's where the Skaven Undercity was that you guys blew up. Your other option would be to go north to Lowry, and then take a boat down from Lowry to Lavencaster.
I don't think it'd be a terrible idea to show the Emperor the remains of a battlefield, the follies of war, etc., etc.
It's not a bad idea, and those of us that are not Jarsali can tell him, this is where we all met.
Mm-hmm.
Or river.
Look, so,
Nostalgia trip.
Yeah.
Saw the trip, walked down memory lane. Do we know? I think we knew that all of the Skaven that were there died, right?
Oh, like a nuke went off underground. Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
dead.
So they're all dead. So
Yeah,
it's
they
not
had it-
like dangerous anymore.
They had a device that was letting them switch minds with creatures called the Mind Snatcher, and you guys blew it up.
So long ago.
I almost switched bodies with one of them.
One of them switched bodies with a rat ogre. It was a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have old Manticoran anymore if that were the case.
I know.
And your con modifier might have changed.
It's true.
Your int probably would have gone down, though.
That's where Carganto got his flamethrower.
Yeah, so I think maybe taking him through the old battlefield and being like, this is history. Real life history.
Yeah, let's take him through the Elry battlefield.
Okay. Change the music here
We
to a
have
beat
go
for a
tell
battlefield.
High Soltrar that Carganto died.
Good old Kai Soltrar.
Who I don't even like. It's been many years now. Like a
Yeah.
year and a half.
It's been, you were in their city for like 3 days 2 years ago after you saved your life.
We've come to retake our windmill. You do not remember us? We own a windmill.
She was also living in the windmill with you guys. You're just gonna show up and kick her out.
Rent
We
or
probably wouldn't
otherwise.
kick her out.
We're here for rent payment.
Oh, you
You're
don't
2 years
have
behind.
a
You're
year and
you're 2 years behind on rent
That's going to be 1,500 gold, please.
in your
No, we
shitty
don't
little
take
town with like
installments.
in your shitty little town with like 10 buildings. We're gonna need 1,500 gold pieces. This is the emperor. He's here to personally collect the debt. Make sure it's paid.
And we know the debt is true because we have the Lord of Corn here as well.
That's right. I counted it myself.
Using math
Fully
numbers.
recorded deed. Money is due now.
I do think I'll probably put a little investment into the city, though, to see if they can't liven things up a bit.
A little investment for Takor and so much money.
You mean you're going to buy the city and then corporatize it?
No, just,
He's going to drop so much coin that it's going to totally wreck the local economy with hyperinflation.
It's like, all right, we're going to have a McDonald's on this corner, a Walgreens on that corner.
Welcome to Takoran City.
I want you to turn this mill into a wizard tower. Thank you very much.
This farm is now a Dave and Buster's.
How much does it take to run a town? Like what? 5,000 gold? We're
Honestly, with a town that small, pretty close.
fine. Is that like a day's worth of income for Takoran?
They make like 4 gold a week if you're like running the town.
I mean, who knew that Takoran's middle name was Money Printer?
You all did.
That's why you guys bought me that pen.
The Money Printer quill?
Yep.
I mean,
By
I'm
the way,
pretty sure
can I say for the record that I've paid all you back for that? Right? I believe I have.
Absolutely. You had
Yeah.
me. And
Yeah,
you didn't know
thank you.
Jarsali yet.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
don't know
think.
shit.
That is true. That's why you haven't paid me.
You guys make your way to Ailry. The long abandoned ruins of the city stand. Before they were overgrown, now they're not really. The green flames of warp fire have burnt away most of the vegetation. The city still has its massive chasms and cracks that descend below to the empty crater where the Undercity once was. The entire city is essentially built on just this big empty space, and all the land above ground's fragile and brittle.
Was the original history behind this? This was like a battlefield of Emperor Alliance? Was that the
Yes,
original?
that's correct. It was the last battle of the war was fought here, and this whole
Alright.
city was just obliterated.
And we definitely let him walk around a bit.
Survival test number 1. I'm gonna push Emperor into the crater. See if you can get back up.
He falls to his death 300 feet.
Oh, it's way more than 300 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just give Booth some flashbacks.
So,
The Emperor takes 1 million damage. Wow, that's actually not terrible damage. That's pretty bad damage.
Does he live?
He
Oh,
would- he would.
random side of terminal velocity. So in Eberron, when you guys fought that dragon, if you didn't kill it in its base, I was going to have it ambush you while you were driving in airships, and it was just going to start grabbing you guys and throwing you off. So before I did that, I had to make sure that you would all live through terminal damage. 20th level terminal velocity is basically like totally not giving a shit.
yeah. You land and go, ow.
Yeah, you're like, eh.
And then you
So
get back
apparently
up.
a dragon hucking you guys from from the top of a mountain wasn't a deadly threat. Basically, it's the short version.
Yeah, the Emperor would make his way around and say, I've read about this place in my history books many times. My father talked about it often. This is where Valadin, the Goliath warrior, fell. Which kind of points at different places. And Badarth, he held that tower there for 3 days on his own. He was an amazing human fighter. He's buried in the Hall of Heroes now. Said to be the greatest archer that ever lived.
Well,
But what about the civilians?
Yes, many died.
the more recent history is that there was a Skaven undercity under this place, and they had an infernal machine that would take over a creature's mind for a time. Maybe permanently, I'm not sure.
His eyes kind of go wide. That's terrifying.
But we were...
These creatures are below the ground. Could they be below us now? Could they be below the capital, the Emperor, the Empire?
I haven't seen any evidence of them below the Empire, but they call them undercities for a reason. But we were, excluding Jarsali, we were all prisoners down there. And they intended that fate for us, but we managed to escape and destroy their machine. That's how we all met, except I'd known Boots for years, but there was one more among our group, an Etten, two-headed Etten named Carganto that has since passed, but...
A demon, a fiend, an Etten. You met an Etten?
He's a very friendly guy.
He liked pie.
He could eat.
Technically, he was two guys.
Technically, he was two guys, and he could eat forever, but
He just
surprisingly intelligent for an Etten and quite noble.
I've heard of demons and fiends before, like the greed demons that manifest in the Almighty Bank occasionally, but I can't say I've ever seen one.
An Etten's not a demon; it's just another creature. No different than a giant or a
You met a
Goliath.
giant.
Haven't met a giant.
You did meet a giant.
Oh, I did?
We
You
did
met a giant in
in
the
the-
plane of shadows.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we met a giant.
And what was? Didn't we fight that guy named Small?
That was,
Yeah.
that was an ogre.
That was an
He was an
ogre.
ogre.
Small the ogre.
Killed an ogre around here recently. Or not recently, a couple years ago, too.
You can see he's just like information overload. and what is that? Is that an ogre? And he points off in the distance, and you can see there's a handful of like goblins and a bugbear kind of slowly approaching.
Nah, it's a bugbear. Ogres are bigger than those.
Even
Much
bigger,
bigger.
bigger than that.
Twice as big.
He must be 7 feet tall.
Twice as big for an ogre.
Good God.
When he says he must be 7 feet tall, I just kind of tilt my head and look at him.
Your ogre is like, what, you think I'm fucking small?
He's used to you.
Well, just because they're goblins and a bugbear doesn't necessarily mean they're out for ill will. We can see what they want. I'll just wave at them.
Why don't we let Eddie see what they want?
You want me to talk to that furry creature?
You
I'm
could
sure
just say hi.
denizens. They're denizens of the Borderlands.
All right. Steps forward. You can see he's a little nervous. This is someone who's mostly talked to humans, and anyone he's talked to that wasn't a human, he had like, a posse of guards with him. It's like in his own room. He doesn't interact with a lot of the other races.
To be fair, he still has a posse of guards with him.
I'll just say to him, be friendly, be casual. Don't be too official sounding. Just friendly and casual.
Casual.
Oh, but also don't sound weak.
Yes,
The same.
casual but not weak.
But
Excellent.
friendly, because people like friendly.
But friendly but not weak. And casually.
And casual.
Casually be strong.
Yes.
I'll make sure I'm within 30 feet of him too when he goes in.
Yeah, we're all gonna. Be
Oh
like,
yeah, we're all like 5 or 10 feet behind him.
Yeah,
Like,
like, he's basically the leader of our group. We're going to talk to them, but we're all sticking together.
How many of these are? How many bugbears / goblins are there?
There's one bugbear, and you see maybe a dozen goblins.
Oh, well, that shouldn't be a problem.
The bugbear would step forward a little bit, kind of carefully placing his feet where there's not going to be like cracks in the ground. And the emperor says, "Hey, bud." Casual.
All of us are biting our knuckle.
yeah.
Me and my friends here, we're just traveling. We don't want any trouble, friend. And the bugbear goes, I don't want no trouble either. We'll just want to know who's passing through our new home. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say, how does the emperor? Does he look like he's got a response to that, or is he kind of struggling?
We are travelers.
We're just passing through.
I'm Edward.
How
Eddie,
awkward is this
also-
conversation?
It's a little awkward.
Rogar's holding back a laugh right now.
Yeah, make a stealth and a perception check, Jarsali.
I'm not trying to stealth. I'm just
Okay.
not really paying attention.
Yeah, just make a
to them.
perception check. There's a handful of them like around, but they're not like set up an ambush.
So there's nobody like creepy crawling in the rubble like
Yeah,
aiming
no,
bows
nothing
at
like
us or anything like that. Okay.
So it's just giving
Well-
like thumbs up. Crushing it.
Well, I'm afraid if you're looking to stay here, you're gonna have to move on. Ain't many places left safe for us. So we need to be staying here with everything going on in the countryside.
So I'll elbow Eddie and be like, "What's going on the countryside?"
Dear friend, what is transpiring in the countryside? And he's like switching in and out of like an accent. It's like
You hear Rogar let off like 2 chuckles, so I'm hold back the rest.
Those trenchers be out lurking everywhere, probing out new territory. They didn't attack us or nothing, but we didn't like having them poking around our lands. We came up from the Groll Hills, down by Lavencaster. We used to be populating down in those hills, but pretty much everywhere's got trenches in them now. We're hoping with this place being all destroyed, they'll leave it alone. Places that they ain't in is burning. From all those fire fuckers.
What's that? What are those guys called again?
Oh, the incendiaries?
No, I like
Crabs
fire fuckers.
Havdalian incendiaries?
Kren's gonna
Have we
say.
heard of those?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we killed some.
Oh, okay.
Remember that psycho preacher guy that was fire and brimstone?
Oh
in the
yeah.
Red, right?
Yeah.
Didn't Carganto just basically go up there and just like smack the shit out of him?
No, he
Yeah.
smacked the shit out of you guys pretty good too. It was a fight.
Well, no,
Yeah.
in the tavern,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
like
yeah,
Karg
but
like
Rogar
threw a
found, like,
plate
twice.
at him or something.
He jumped you guys later, and it was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are the incendiaries crusading again or something?
Yeah, it might be them, might be something else. I don't know. All I know is fire's been popping up all over this side of the borderlands. Small towns just be burning left and right. Makes good looting for us to pick apart whatever's left.
Well, we're not looking to stay here, friend. We're just looking to pass through.
Well, why don't you leave us that horse you've got there on that cart? We're hungry folk, ain't lots of hunting around here. Everything's tainted somehow. I don't know what happened here, but it smells funny.
Skaven happened here.
Or what?
Skaven. Rat people. You know them, right?
He kind of looks at the other goblins and they shrug their shoulders.
They lived underground. Yeah,
Is that like that? Those mole people I keep hearing about? Because we don't think those are real.
yeah, probably. They're real. But they used to have an undercity here, but we actually ended up destroying it. But,
Make a persuasion check.
alright. Persuasion. 25.
Kind of looks you up and down again. All right.
So-
Would you leave us your horse then, so we could eat it? We'll let you pass through, no problems. We got hungry mouths to feed.
How about we give you some rations, but not the horse? How's that work?
Our horse. And I've named him Sven.
You name Sven.
Yes.
Sven.
Call back to our mini space campaign.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. And he looks like he's only agreeing to that because he believes that you just destroyed an entire city by yourself.
Yeah.
I'll
The Emperor,
offload a decent number of rations from the wagon.
yeah, the Emperor hands over a couple bags to him, and he's like, "Much obliged. You run into any more of our folk, you tell them a brickwad set up here."
Brickwad, alright. Let him know.
And
You know a safe route through here where we're not gonna fall through any cracks?
oh, we've already lost Sprocket, Woodley, Arrow. Yeah, we just these little ones keep falling through.
Right. Do you know any routes through the city that are safer than others, though?
Stomps on the ground. It's pretty solid right here.
So I'll take that as a no. Alright.
If I knew solid routes, I wouldn't be losing so many goblins.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Best of luck.
Yep, you too.
And just kind of by the end of as night's falling, would you guys like to sleep in the battlefield, or are you gonna find cover in one of the ruined buildings, or just travel through the night, try to cross the bridge?
I think maybe on the edge of the town.
Yeah, if we could make it to the bridge, I think that would be the way to go.
Yeah, you could do that.
They didn't seem very keen on us staying in there, and we don't need to be massacring goblins.
And we don't want them to eat Sven.
Yeah.
It's true.
I suppose there's that too.
The Emperor is like, is talking to people always so tense here?
Not always. You gotta know who you're dealing with. Bugware's usually not a problem, but if they think that you're weak or you've got something that they want,
Or they're desperate.
or they're desperate, and this guy was all three, they might look to put up a fight.
He kind of nods. So where are we going next? Are we camping in the woods for the next few days? How far of a travel is it?
Oh, how far is it to Lavencaster from here?
It's 2 days to Airedale, Lavencaster. If you cut through the hills and the forest, like 3 days if you take the actual path.
Yeah, let's go to Airedale first. I mean, it's right there.
Sure.
Yeah, well, we'll be taking the path because we've got the horse and cart.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And we
Are
want to
we-
give him more social interaction because clearly he can't talk to people.
Right.
He didn't do too bad.
No, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Are we staying the night at this bridge place?
Yeah, I think you guys are sleeping on the bridge.
And then how long are we traveling after that?
Another day to get
2
to
days.
Airedale.
Okay, cool. So Boots will spend her night casting plant growth.
Oh,
And I want to suggest we leave somebody on watch. With given the events that they talked about, and we know there's people around, we should definitely have on people. On watch.
Definitely. I'll take first watch.
I can
We'll,
take
we'll
second
be
and
we'll be
third.
spending the evenings in the hut though. FYI.
Still. Yeah.
But yes.
Well, Boots
I'll
will
take
be awake
second
all
and third.
night.
yeah. Boots is staying up to cast plant growth. She kind of calmly uses her druid craft and begins to restart the ecological cycle here, where it's been tainted by the warp fire and burnt and exploded. And Boots kind of manages to grow a kind of restart the ecological cycle here and start some actual plant growth. It's a very nice thing of her to do.
Should make the ground more stable too.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm gonna hand the Emperor a note. It says every night, we're gonna train to help you better your sword skills.
Okay, interesting. I'm gonna have you make. What kind of check is it to train somebody?
Oh. I was gonna say we should swap off Rogar so he learns to very different styles too.
I'll say you guys can use your fighting skill, so strength or dex, and then he will make a check as well. We'll say for a successful night of training. How am I going to do this? I'll have him make the checks, and then I'll figure it out.
You also see Rogar pull out a longsword and a shield out of his bag when he trains with the Emperor.
The Emperor would train with his +2 shield and his Vorpal short sword.
I'll watch.
I will also watch.
Sven will also watch.
Well,
Just
honestly,
munching on
you-
oats.
Go ahead and make a strength check, Rogar.
For Sven.
Shit.
You are such a good trainer.
Shit.
Wow.
Wow.
So he
He
levels
gains
up
3
to level
levels.
4.
You guys have like Rogar, everything you do, even though you can't talk, he's like immediately picking up every criticism you have of his performance. Like he's just reads everything that he's doing wrong in your eyes and immediately applies it, and he just does excellent. You guys are like doing like these little sparring matches, then he'll run off, he'll take some notes, he'll come back, and Charlie, you're just like in awe of these two going at it, like the destroyer training this young emperor. And we'll call that 5 successful training days for a double natural 20.
I'm gonna look over at Jarsali with kind of a raised eyebrow, like holy shit.
Good. The boy shows natural aptitude.
So for oh, sorry, go ahead.
And then I'm gonna realize I probably shouldn't refer to him as a boy because technically he's full grown.
He's still a boy. He's pretty young.
So he needs 450 XP to level up, and for each training day he can gain up to 10. So for 5 training days, roll 5d10.
Pretty good, all things considered.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty good.
I think one of the best things for the Emperor is to actually see us in a fight in which we have to break a sweat. I think would be really good for him, honestly.
If we want that, we might have to go to the trench.
He would
Yeah,
speak
but-
up and say, maybe we could go into the dwarven mines. I've been told there's formidable creatures in there.
Would I know anything about the dwarven mines?
You're from the borderland. Make a history check with advantage.
13.
So dwarves in general are pretty isolationist. Like they don't get out a lot from their mountain keeps. The dwarves in the Borderlands never leave. um, they keep to themselves so much. You probably wouldn't know too much about it, but they're basically all self-sufficient communities. They don't go out a lot. They don't really have any need to trade. They're just kind of each is like its own world that doesn't. It's like their own bubble.
Yeah.
And
they probably don't like visitors too much.
They do not like visitors too much. But Nux Verwat is pretty much a standard kind of dwarven mountain keep. They don't like visitors too much, but they're not hostile at all. You know, they're amenable people. No one's gonna kick you out. Like anyone can go there.
Everyone just chews their gum really slowly and stares at you as you walk in.
Yeah, exactly. Nux Verwat is known for having a bunch of mines, but no one really knows what they're mining because they don't export any of it. They all just keep it for themselves. So yeah, you could probably go to one of their mining tunnels or something if you wanted. You would stand. It would be a very foreign concept, even for you guys. Like you guys have probably never been to like a dwarven keep, so it would be really weird for even you guys.
Well, Eddie, I've never actually been inside the dwarven keep around here, Nuxvor, but I do know that the dwarves are pretty isolationist and not too keen on visitors. They're not outwardly hostile, but
He kind of thinks about it for a little bit and then goes, I mean, the Empire hasn't been keen on foreigners for some time, but you've all found success in making it a home.
You know, you make a good point. Maybe it would be good for you to experience something like that.
I think any experience for him to meet with other peoples is good, but I don't know how much he'll really gain from slaying monsters in the mines themselves, though.
I think it would be interesting to interact with a people innately hostile towards me. Usually most people are trying to be my friend or appease me or kiss my bottom, as they say, upon first meeting me. I've never really gotten a stink eye, as I believe it's called.
Maybe
you'll get that in the Borderlands. Don't worry about that. But I don't think there's anything in those mines that I would deem intelligent that you would be fighting.
Maybe we should try to figure out who's setting these places on fire. Might be an interesting little side quest.
That has more immediate concern for me. I mean, this is my home, and apparently there's things are not all right in the countryside.
You've been away for some time. I apologize for keeping you.
You didn't keep me. I could have left at any time.
We should definitely check out and make sure that people are okay, though. Because we did make some friends.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance that Lavencaster will be fine against such things, but I'll be honest, I do worry about Arendelle. They're a bit small for fending off such issues.
Yeah, Lowry too.
If you have friends in history there, perhaps we go there first, and it's close to.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not that far out of the way.
Yeah, Airedale definitely is probably more vulnerable if that's the concern. Lowry is a little more hardy because they have that whole super badass River Monter Hunters Guild that are hunting like crazy monsters that are in the river all the time.
And Lavencaster's big and it has walls. So.
Yeah. Well, and also like we can go to Airedale and then have a nice easy road trip down to Lancaster if we want. And then isn't there like a good boat, there's like a boat riding thing that goes to Lowry.
Yep.
Yeah. And where would the trench be from here? Is it east along the road from Airedale?
Yes, it's east along the road from Airedale for, let's see.
Isn't it west?
Yes, west. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, west.
I literally always get those wrong. It would take you about 10 days to get to the trench from here. And I think we're trying to do maybe 20 days here. So if you do that, it would take up a lot of your travel time would just be going from here to there, but there'd be a lot of stuff between there. It just means you wouldn't get to stay in one area very long if you wanted to make it all the way there.
Okay.
So if you wanted to, like, stay in Airedale for a while, stay in Lavencaster for a while, then you probably wouldn't have time. But if you wanted to just like beeline it there, I'm sure there'll be a lot of experiences on the way, and you'll still make it. So it's kind of your call how you want to play that.
I think if we're gonna go to the trench, we go there last, and that way we can teleport out.
Yeah.
From there.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I think we're not like looking to spend a ton of time in any specific place. We're just kind of giving him,
we're showing him the
tour.
Borderlands.
Yeah, we'll spend like a day or two in Airedale, and then we'll go down and spend like a day or two in Lavencaster and take the ferry. It's like backpacking through Europe.
Well, and then you could probably also take the ferry up the river towards the trench. So that might
You could do that too, but you'd miss a lot of
faster.
you'd miss a lot of travel stuff on the way. But you would definitely get there faster. You just wouldn't like be passing through towns because you'd be on a boat.
Right. So we'll see. We'll see where we go, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the point is to give him the experience. So I think if we went the slow route, even though it would be slower, it'd be like, look at all of these cute little towns that are a part of the Borderlands that could be destroyed if you decided to go batshit crazy.
Yeah.
So are we going to Airedale?
Airedale.
Okay.
Airedale.
There'll be another travel day, so if Rogar or Jarsali wants to train, they can do so.
Boots is going to take a nap so that I don't get my level of exhaustion because I didn't.
Okay, yeah. You have a cart. You can nap on the way.
Yeah.
I'll be driving the cart, I guess. Probably with Takoran. We'll both be sitting on the bench of the cart.
Sure. So Rogar or Jarsali, I don't know if Marcus or Brian are both here, but if one of them's here, they can make that roll.
I think we were going to switch off.
Yeah, I think Brian. Oh, Brian, roll a dexterity check to train with the Emperor. You need a big roll.
Was that at me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the DC for a training day is 25 with both of you total. So he got
is
an
it
8.
just dexterity?
Yep, just make a dexterity check. Yeah, not a successful training day, unfortunately.
He got one more.
Yes.
It's 23. You need a 25.
So
Yep.
close, but just far.
I tried.
I'm gonna yell at him. Keep your elbow up. Your guard's open.
He looks over, what? And then just takes a massive hit.
Crin's gonna be like,
was just like,
elbow up, elbow up. Your guard's open.
He's just like, I think I'm still sore from training with the destroyer. Maybe we train every other day, so I have a recovery day.
That's a terrible idea. And then we'll keep going.
I'll hand Jarsali a note that says if he's really intent on a day off, there could be a day where we spar and he watches to try and soak up as much as possible.
I'm pretty close to 100%. I think that's actually probably good for me as well. Fine. It's been a long time since I've been able to give Rogar any kind of half-decent sparring sessions.
Well, for that training day, anyways, that's the best he's going to get out of it. But you guys eventually approach, making your way to Airedale. I'm going to play different music.
Mid-snore, Boots was like, you did great.
This music's a little too mysterious.
Creepy doll music.
You guys see the green hills, the rolling wheat fields, the single church, a few small businesses, the basic wrought iron gate that doesn't stand too high of Airedale, where you guys have not been since 3rd level many years ago.
And I've never been there.
And you've never been here. You see a cute little town in front of you. Probably something you've passed by many times, although with your noble background, probably actually not somewhere you've spent that much time. I'm in
Well,
towns
and if it's
like
further
these.
from the ocean, I've probably actually never been here.
Yeah,
I
you've
probably would've
probably
went straight to
definitely
the
never been
capital.
here.
Yep.
Yeah, you definitely never been here then. You guys make your way in. You see all of the villagers turn to see you. You guys stick out like a sore thumb. As much as
I
you try not
don't.
to. Rogar, his towering figure sticks out a little bit. The rest of you actually probably don't that much. Kryn, you're like a novelty, but you don't stick out too much. Like, changelings are rare, but they're not like, whoa, is that a changeling? It's like, oh, there's a changeling, cool.
Well, and my attire like I haven't really changed it that
Yeah.
much. I fit the Borderlands, so
And the Emperor actually fits in pretty well now because he's all dirty. You guys make your way in. And where'd you like to go?
well, to the windmill first.
All right. You-
Collect our taxes.
Rent's due.
I mean, I think we take the scenic route and are like, this is where we first came after meeting everybody. That's the town hall. That's
It's
the
actually
fountain.
this is where we met Chester and the Hound. I forget his name. Crane. That's it.
Are there any jobs on the job board?
There are some jobs on the job board. One states that there is a nearby town just east of Airedale, whose name I totally have pulled up. I'd have to find the name real quick. And they are hiring firefighters. They're worried that the fires that are seemingly spreading at other places are going to come to their town. There is also a job for what's called the Horror in the River, kind of near in that whole Tri-River that's between Airedale, Lawry, and Lavencaster. There's some kind of demonic fish creature, as it's described, that has been terrorizing many ferries, making it hard for people to get from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
So slaying that, there's a hefty reward of 250 gold pieces. That's about it.
Do any of the buildings here look like they've been burned?
They don't. No, they look fine.
Well, we're gonna be going east later eventually. Maybe we can look into what's going on with that other town then. But we could take a look at this river monster thing if Eddie wants to.
It's Hopsford is the name of the town.
Hopsford, okay.
Is there information on where the sea monster might be?
Just says that it's been in the Tri-River, the erstwhile river. So the ferry kind of goes in a triangle like this, right?
Mm.
And so that whole area has been having problems with attacks.
Maybe we'll find it when we take the ferry.
Yeah, I almost wonder if we then take the ferry up to the top right and then down to the bottom left, just to see if we can encounter it.
Sure,
rather than traveling on the road, or we could travel on the road back after that. If we really want.
I mean, is there anything in between those kind of points, like
Well,
Airedale
between
and-
Airedale and Lawry, definitely not. You have to take the ferry.
Yeah, but between Airedale and we have to go back up that way anyway.
Yeah.
Because
So
we're
we can-
heading past Airedale to get to the borderland, further into the borderlands, right?
So we could either go down the road to Lawry from here and then take the ferry up, or to Lavencaster and then take the ferry up to Lawry and then over to Airedale, and then road
then
again.
So then maybe it makes more sense to take the ferry, because I remember last time the reason why we didn't do it was because it was cost prohibitive. We were very poor. We're
That is no longer the
poor now.
case.
Yeah. So if we take the ferry from Lawry and then, check out Lawry and then take the ferry down from Lawry to Lavencaster, and then we take the road back up past Airedale again, because we have to go that way, right? To go back,
Yeah.
sort of through into the borderlands further in. So I think that way we're not just going up and down that road repeatedly.
It's a question of whether we want to take the road on the way down to Lavencaster or on the way back up from Lavencaster, and I think either way it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other.
Right.
Because I was thinking,
Except we have more of an opportunity to encounter this thing on the first two trips rather than after the fact, which is better for the people if we encounter it earlier.
True. The sooner we find it, the sooner. Yeah,
Unless
I'm cool with
people
that.
Die.
Yeah.
people should just stop dying.
I know. That'd be nice.
Stop starving.
Just eat. God.
You did it. You ended world hunger.
Well, let's go to the windmill.
Yes.
Okay. You guys make your way to the windmill of Airedale. 1 second. What's her name? Okay. You smell a beautiful scent coming from inside. You see some steam or smoke waft out. It smells like somebody's baking, maybe like some fresh muffins or something similar.
Boots will scurry up and knock on the door. Tax collector.
A woman opens the door with like blonde hair, kind of light blue eyes. She has a scar across one side of her face, and she just says, "Oh, I thought we've already paid this month."
Hi, it's us. We're back. Hello.
This is not Kai.
Oh, it's not. Hi. Oh,
Who the hell are you?
Oh no.
There used to be someone else who lived here named Kai.
Oh, dear. And you see Kai comes out. She's got an apron on. She's got a fresh plate of muffins, and she says, "Yes, honey."
Oh, we're back. It's us.
Drops the muffins. "Oh, damn it!" And she starts trying to scurry them all up. She's like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting you. It's been a while. Oh God, these are ruined." And she kind of frustratedly picks up all the muffins and slaps them down onto the counter. Says, "Please come inside."
Scarf may have eaten some of them already.
Scarf is just...
Food on the ground, mine.
Well, I'll go in.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I'll duck down and go in.
How does the place look?
It looks very nice. You see there's now pictures on the walls of like hand-drawn portraits, mostly of Kai and this young lady that she's with. You see there's pictures of them in different places. There's some different art. You see there's like a picture of what looks like it's like an interpretive piece of like a prison that looks kind of like the Skaven prison. It looks a lot more homey than last time you guys were here.
Nice.
So how things been?
Fine. I got married, and she gestures towards the lady next to her. This is Leona.
Congratulations.
Yes. Leona, these are the people that I told you about that I met in the underground prison. And she goes, "Oh, those people."
We have some new friends and some bad news. I'm sure you remember Carganto?
How could I forget? Oh, you have to meet him. She turns towards the blonde woman she's with and says, "Oh, it's this massive creature, huge, hulking, with two heads that are constantly arguing. I swear, she never believes me."
Well, he died.
Her face kind of falls. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But it's an expected part of the adventuring life to a certain extent.
Well, speaking of adventuring life, how goes your travels?
Pretty good.
Where have you guys been? I wasn't expecting you to disappear. I heard you were going towards the Alliance last I heard.
Well, we got arrested on the road, actually.
Oh dear.
And Chester, the guy we were going to escort to the Alliance, was apparently a fugitive. And we got arrested along with him, and
We regale her with the entire tale.
yeah, I'll tell her how, like, everything that happened, and I'll leave out the grisly details, but tell her when Carganto met his end and all of that.
So would you guys be like, oh, I'm the Lord of Coin now, or is that something we're leaving out?
Oh no, I would leave that out. I don't need to tell
Okay.
her. Yeah. I don't go around bragging.
Well, she would take all this in and just her eyes go wide, and she's like, "See, I told you they're real. They're just like I described." And the lady's like, "Yes, I was wrong. I thought that you were just saying that to make yourself seem more interesting."
I could show her what Garganto looked like if you want me to.
Oh, please.
I'll shape change into Garganto and use the Glamoured armor.
I think you can only shape change to something that's like an inch taller than you. You could look like him, but I don't think
You
you
could
can.
be a mini Garganto.
I'll look like him. I can be up to a foot taller, but I'll look like him, and I'll say, "Now imagine like twice as tall."
Oh dear, that's terrifying.
And then I'll shape change back.
Well, let's see. 1 second. I might have something better for that. No, I
Silent
don't.
image.
Oh yeah, I would have put this in my spell book by now. But let me just check to make sure that it actually works the way I think it does. For alter self, how big of a change is that, I wonder?
It's like a change. Like you can be like 1 foot taller. So you would be like a mini Garganto.
What about seeming?
Seeming is a high level spell.
You can make each creature seem 1 foot shorter or taller.
It's kind of the industry standard.
Yeah.
What about minor illusion?
No.
But just like
definitely won't do it.
a little version.
What if
No,
I pick up
you would
boots and
need,
put her
like,
on my
some-
shoulder like she's my extra head?
You would either need major illusion or silent image.
Yeah, I don't have either of those. I've got a lot of
So-
spells in my spell book, but not those.
How have things been here in Airedale?
Quiet compared to the rest of the country, I think. The countryside.
That's what I hear. There's fires everywhere and something about the trench.
Yes, not something we've had to deal with too much here, but we've had a few associates of the trench come by. No fighters here yet, but we're prepared for it. We've been keeping a lot of water in stock. I'm not
Do
sure
they
what
have
perhaps
do they have a look about them, those trench people? Any kind of uniform or anything?
They all wear purple armbands.
Okay. Any idea what they want?
They're in some kind of business trade. I think they're still feeling out exactly what their goals are. I'm sure they have them, but they're not really publicly known. They've all kind of come together for something. We're just not sure what that thing is yet.
Curious.
Well, yes. Are you going to be staying here?
Do you have room for all of us? I wouldn't want to intrude.
Of course. Would you go clear off the spare bed, honey? And she's like, yes. We only have one bed.
I'll sleep on the floor. I'm used to it.
We can snuggle. All of us, as a group.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this one of your party? And she looks towards the the emperor, who's sitting there very uncomfortable.
Yeah, he is. He's new to the area. We're showing him around.
Oh, hello. And she walks over to Lot and kind of pats him on the head. And he's like, "A lady?" And she's like, "I'm a lady. That's so cute, so formal."
Talk to yourself, Thomas.
He just sits there looking very uncomfortable.
Well, do you have any questions for Kai, Eddie?
Can I have a muffin? She's like, of course. And she gives him a muffin and he eats it. And they start talking just about the town and where she's from and how the farm works and all that stuff. And they just end up having a nice little chat, just very small talky, awkwardly small talky, but
Yeah,
is what it is.
gaining comfort as it's going, I'm sure. Well, I'm gonna go talk to the town guard about that bounty on the fish thing and see if I can learn more about it. I'll be back
Oh, all
You want
right.
me to come with?
if you want.
Okay. Let's go with.
Okay. What are you trying to learn and from where?
I want to know if they know anything about its features, capabilities, anything like that, and where it's been sighted. Mostly, if it's attacking fairies or what its MO is and all that stuff.
Make
Boots
an
will-
I'll have each of you make an investigation check.
Okay. Boots will be helping and seeing if any of it sounds familiar, if it's like a creature she's. I did a little.
Nice.
Killing it.
Kryn, you don't really learn a lot. Boots is just chatting up everybody. She's making flower crowns. Everybody in town's super happy to see her. Most of them don't even remember her, but she's like still greeting them like they're old friends.
You don't remember me?
It's been like 3 years.
You don't remember me?
You don't know all these people.
I know every one of these people. That one might be Steve. Or Charles.
My
Somewhere
name's
else.
Fred.
I was close.
Oh,
Oh,
did we
we-
lose someone?
We lost Marcus.
Marcus, no.
What will we do without the destroyer?
You know his.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
back.
he's back.
Sorry, powerful.
Oh no.
Are you okay?
Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, what did I learn?
So, you hear a couple different rumors. First, you hear that it is a mermaid, is what the kids say. And then somebody else says that it's like a manta ray, and that it screams like a woman. And people say that it just appears below ships, and then they see the mermaid shape come out, and then the ship is attacked. That's the one MO of all the ship attacks is this beautiful mermaid comes out, and then the ship is attacked by this strange creature.
Does it sound like anything I've heard of before?
Make a nature check.
Okay.
Can I make a nature check too?
Yeah, you can make one with disadvantage because you're not.
Boo.
Oof.
17.
Kryn. Somehow, even though they don't usually exist in this part of the world, you're familiar with a creature that often ends up in small channels. Definitely very strange for it to be here. They usually stay near the ocean, but not in the ocean. It's a type of creature called a wisp scream. They're not really usually encountered. They kind of have mixes of like traditional like siren lore, where they lure people in with like a beautiful figure, but rather than being like a siren, they're actually like underwater. They're like big underwater creatures.
Do I have any idea how dangerous these things might be?
They're pretty dangerous. You get the feeling if people knew what it was, they'd be offering to pay a lot more than that. They probably just think it's like a basic sea serpent. This is definitely like a higher tier than they're paying. This is a bigger job than they're offering.
I'm gonna tell whoever is offering the bounty, like the bounty purveyor here. You know, it's a wisp shriek. You said
A wisp scream.
a wisp scream. You know, that's a wisp scream, right? That you're talking about.
Make a persuasion check.
21.
It's like, oh my gosh, why didn't I see it before? Wow. I'll see what I can do for the bounty, but we don't have much in the town treasury at the moment. Let me talk to the mayor. Leaves for a little bit. comes back, and the pot's been increased to 1,000 gold pieces. That's the best we can do, I'm afraid.
No worries. If we run into it, we'll try to take care of it for you.
So we don't technically need more of their money, Kryn.
We'll see what happens.
Maybe we'll invest a lot of the gold back into the town.
Maybe.
That way, you know, we get maybe some gold, but also maybe we get some cool stuff. But, you know, it creates more work.
Boots would maybe want to, after they kind of figure out more about the... I already forgot the name. Whale
Wisp scream.
Wisp scream.
Whale scream.
Current 17 is pretty good. I will let you know there's also different types of wisp screams. There are saltwater wisp screams, freshwater wisp screams, Arctic water wisp screams, and like infernal wisp screams that swim around in lava.
We would assume that this is a freshwater one.
Yeah, probably. Freshwater ones are kind of the mid tier. Like the saltwater ones aren't as bad.
Do we know whether or not these things are native to this plane?
You can make an Arcana check, I suppose.
Or am I there? I didn't think we all went.
No, I'm the only one there, but I would have come back and told the group, like, there's a... Well, right, sorry, Boots was with me, but when we came back, we would have said, the thing in the water's a wisp scream. It's fairly dangerous, but I think it's something we could handle.
Technically didn't come back with you.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I'm gonna ask.
So
Eddie if
would
he
you
can
have
swim.
tried to sneak off, or would you have...
Yeah, I just said I had an errand.
Okay.
You're
Well, then
welcome to come with, but...
Well, I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah. Anyway, keep going and talking, and I'll do my errand in a minute.
I'm sorry, what? Somebody cut somebody off. We got distracted.
I was gonna
Oh.
ask Eddie if he can swim.
It's like, oh, I've had fine swimming instructors, yes.
Having fine swimming instructors.
I mean, I
is sort of-
learned down by the bay. In the town I'm from.
wearing armor.
I've never swum wearing armor. It seems like it would rust.
Where the watermelon girl?
You're wearing leather, Eddie. It's not going to rust.
Oh, I haven't swum in armor, no.
All right.
Do I know if it's native to this plane with that Arcana check?
You know that these are native to this plane, but they're not natural to this plane. They are an interbred creatures. So the creatures that they come from are hags, who bred with sea monsters. And created the Wisp Scream.
Spicy.
So the sea monsters are from this plane, but hags are, fey creatures or fiends that are not from this plane. So it's like half from this plane.
With that Arcana check, would I know if I banished it, if it would stay in a different plane? Like, if it would it banish it to the Fae and stay there, or would it come back?
It would depend where it was born. If the hag spawned the creature on this plane, it would come to this plane. If it spawned it in the Feywild and it somehow came over here, which is pretty unlikely, then no.
Yeah, it would probably come back here, I would guess.
Okay. Might be
Also,
worth a try, though.
If you banish it, we got no proof of the kill.
That's a good point. I'll keep it in mind as a backup. As like an emergency button.
That sounds good.
Boots would have gone to the apothecary.
Oh, okay.
When I would have also, sorry, when I found out it was it was a wisp's shriek, I would have went and bought a crossbow, a heavy crossbow.
Okay, I'll also say with a 26 to Corn, you'd know they are very susceptible to radiant damage.
Oh, okay.
They
Good.
hate it.
Good to know.
Too bad we have no one here who can do that.
Yeah, I will
Absolutely
definitely let Boots know.
I'm also going to go buy a longbow. I'm an elf without a longbow. That just seems odd.
What would you like to do in the apothecary boots?
She would probably mostly want to see if she can find any recipes,
Let me see if I can find my notes of who exists in the.
and also just check. That's where she started her apothecary journey.
It's true. I'm trying to find the name of and the details of the actual apothecist.
I think Kryn would probably also tell Jarsali that if you're looking to fight a thing underwater, you want a crossbow, not a longbow.
I was not planning on fighting it underwater with a bow.
Fair enough.
You know what we need, Aaron?
Hmm.
A dive.
A diving bell?
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, I can't find my notes on who the apothecary actually is.
It's okay. She just wanted to go mostly to see if there's any recipes that might be useful, that might be unique, that she hasn't seen.
Make an alchemist check.
Okay. Does it have to be an alchemist, or could it be an herbalism? Also, at
Yeah,
some point,
that's
could I have become like proficient in alchemy instead of just herbalism?
That takes a while. You'd have to have spent some downtime on that.
Could she have done that
have.
on her year off?
That's what we were doing.
I thought you were doing I thought you were doing herbalism stuff. Oh, okay.
Well, technically, like apothecary potion making, which is both herbalism and.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll figure out the details later about how many
Yeah.
days that would take. But for now, we can tentatively say you're proficient in apothecary tools.
I'm still just gonna roll herbalism because that's what I
Because
have.
I know there's definitely enough time for someone to become proficient in a skill over 400 days. I just can't remember exactly how many it takes, so we'll have to work that out. But you had a lot of downtime this year to work on stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was technically working towards, was kind of like
Okay,
an
okay.
apothecary.
Yeah, I'll give you proficiency in that, sure.
Okay. Anyway, 17.
There's nothing too unique here, although you do gain the basic components of making fire and lightning paper or paste, which is what you guys had used when you fought the Luxwind Terror. It temporarily applies a elemental effect to a weapon, and those cost 150 to make for you, and they take as long as a healing potion.
I would at some point, knowing how to make this, and sorry if I get too in the weeds, knowing how to make this, would I be able to transfer that to any other type of.
Fire and lightning are like the easy ones that they're gonna have here.
Yeah, but I mean, like with my own knowledge,
Oh,
would I be able to understand how to do.
Yeah, you can.
Radiant?
You can
Fire
make
and
some
lightning?
checks for it. Radiant's hard because it's not a natural element. Like you can't just combine like herbs and make radiant. So
You
radiant.
just use holy water in the porter vessel with the herbs.
So radiant's probably off the table. But most like natural elements that you can like find in berries. You can
Hello, the sun.
And that was 100 gold pieces, right? To make?
That's 150 to make.
150.
But it takes as much time as a healing potion.
Cool. I just want to write that down.
Yep.
Okay. And then I would have just chit chatted and seen what was going on. How are you doing? How's your day? What's life like? And then and gone back.
Okay. Too bad Marcus is having power issues.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'm on my phone right now, so it's probably really bad.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing we're going to be battling underwater because that's what he sounds like. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
there you go.
Yeah, are you on speakerphone? It doesn't sound like it.
That's exactly what Rogar sounds like underwater.
Yeah, so you guys spend a day here then? Is that the plan? Spend the night here in the windmill?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
probably.
head out in the morning.
You guys catch up with Kai and Leona. They talk to you guys about their farm. It's been very successful. Because of the fires, they've been getting a lot more business because other farms are burning down, so people have to order from here. They're talking about perhaps moving.
I want an insight check to see if they have anything to do with the fires
Sure.
and they're choking out the competition. 14.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
They talk about making a lot more money. They talk about maybe moving, closing down the farm, and retiring somewhere tropical.
Hmm. I
They-
would
they
want to ask
expressed-
them. I would want to ask them about their farmhand that we had set them up with, that random bandit.
Oh yeah, the Adopt a Bandit program.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what was his name? I have it here somewhere. Oh my gosh, what was his name? I remember him. He's the guy who had the blood runes that you guys have still.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what was his
I like how it's become tradition for us to reform at least one bandit
Yeah.
every campaign.
What are you doing with your life?
Oh my gosh, I don't have his name. I feel so bad.
That's okay.
Jared.
Was it Jared? It might have been Jared, honestly.
No, I just pulled the name out of the air, but it is
Might
him,
It's
have
right?
something very Chad-like.
Well, they say that yeah, he's been great. He's been working hard. They've hired a few more on, and that they've made, and they kind of look at each other like very proud, and they say 600 gold pieces in the last year,
Wow, nice.
which is
Wow.
very uber wealthy. Like they're making a
Yeah.
ton of money, and so they're planning on eventually retiring the farm. But
Well, good for you
first,
both.
they are going to try to adopt a child so that they can inherit the windmill because it's a family heirloom.
Nice.
Well, I'm very happy for you too. That's wonderful.
Of course. How's the adventuring life? Are you guys making okay coin for yourselves? Staying sheltered?
We're doing all right for ourselves, I'd say. Yeah.
Are you sure? This young boy with you looks very dirty. She points at the emperor.
He's just getting started adventuring. He's got a.
Would he like? We could run him a bath, perhaps?
I'll look over at the emperor
I'll look
like,
at
hey,
him weirdly.
your call, buddy.
He goes, no, sorry. My people don't believe in that sort of thing.
I'm gonna give him a weird look.
We
when he
all give
says
him
that.
a look like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And she's like, oh, where are you from? And he goes, north? She's like, okay. She kind of gives you all a look like, why is this kid so weird? And he kind of looks over you guys. He's like, I didn't want to blow the disguise. I thought that being dirty was like part of it.
No one here is gonna know what you look like because no one here cares.
Damn it, is it weird now if I ask for the bath?
Yes.
Yeah,
Damn it.
you can take a bath in the river tomorrow if you want to.
In the
Or you'll
river.
probably get clean when that thing drags you into the river tomorrow.
Well, I guess I'll go to bed then. And he looks at the floor and kind of awkwardly lays down. He's probably never slept on a floor before.
No, we would probably get him
Oh,
to
okay.
bed,
You give him the
honestly.
bed. He's still like, oh, this is not a comfortable bed.
No. But then again, he's been camping out with us for the last few nights, so
Yeah, that's fair. With his luxury bedroll, I'm sure.
sure.
I would hand him a note. It says training time.
He just looks at you like, but I'm so dirty. And you guys can train, yeah. So go ahead and make your check.
And here I thought this was going to be his day off.
No
Yep,
such
another
thing.
successful training day. Roll a d10.
Nice.
As I'm watching, I'm going to turn to Kryn and say, you know, I have actually trained knights at home. But he is a much better trainer than I am, apparently.
It's the silent judgment.
Must be. He's got the dad look down.
You know, I can use a sword, but I've never really tried to teach anyone swordsmanship either, so I wouldn't take it too hard.
Oh no,
I mean,
I'm
that's-
not taking it hard. I'm more impressed at Rogar.
Oh, well.
I'm an actual professional trainer, and he can't even speak, and he's better than I am.
Jarsali's getting a little insecure.
It's
More
it's-
impressed. There's
it's his
nothing that
wo-
man can't do with a sword.
It's his way of life, I guess. I mean, that's all he does. You've got
Well,
swordsmanship and statecraft and magic. Like, you've got divided attention.
Eddie, if you ever want to know how to dance, I can teach you better than Rogar. I'm sure of it.
He's like, oh, I've had great dance instruction, and then Rogar knocks him on his ass.
I can teach you how to shoot a gun too if you want.
I can shoot a gun, and he gets knocked on his ass again. Every time he only just like immediately like 180 turns to look at you guys, and then just gets hit by Rogar every time you ask him anything.
And I'm
Um,
definitely doing that on purpose.
When he says he can shoot a gun, I'm gonna say, not like me, you can't.
I can teach you how to read the stars. I don't know if it's helpful.
He looks back at you. I can read Draconic. Ow.
Stars are better, but you should focus harder.
And the next day would come. Kai and Leona would ask you guys if there's anywhere they can write you, so that it's not so long before you see each other again.
You can ride to the Wayward Tower in the.
You have a
Way
tower.
to be vague. Nice.
The Wayward Tower. It's in the capital of the Empire, actually.
You're living in the capital now. Oh, is there much adventure to be had there? I would think that there's not many monsters or things.
You'd be surprised.
There's monsters everywhere.
There's many monsters in the capital. They're just not as obvious as they are in other places like mines or swamps or forests. And they tend to have 2 arms and 2 legs and wear clothes just like everyone else.
She looks terrified. Oh, I don't think we've met. I'm Kai.
This is
I-
Jarsali.
Boots introduced them last night.
Oh, okay.
She did quietly. Actually, if they were up at all in the evening, I would have stayed up and just kind of small chatted with them. I don't need to
Yeah,
sleep.
they
much.
they would small chat. They say, well, we will be taking a vacation in the next few months, probably to the tropical isles. You should come with us. It'd be great.
If we're free, we might just do that.
Excellent, excellent. And you guys, I guess you're taking the ferry, so you'd say your goodbyes.
Mm-hmm.
Before we left, Boots would have taken the morning to ritually cast water breathing on everybody.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice.
It lasts 24 hours, so it's like, I hope we're not on the thing for that long.
Thomas, 26 hours later.
But you can just
Well,
ritual cast it again.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just go to sleep, and then 10 minutes before it's about to fall off, you ritual cast it again.
Yep.
So we would go hire a ferry then, yes. The ferry is 3 gold a person.
Oh my
Ooh.
god.
It's a
Oh,
Last time
That
it
is way too expensive.
last time it was 2, but it's a premium because of the wisp scream.
You know what we should do
Sorry, wrong
when
button.
when they ask for payment? We should all look at Eddie.
Is that what you want to do?
I'm gonna pay my own 3.
we should try to convince them to not charge us because we're going to try to slay the monster if we encounter it.
Yeah, we could try to do that.
Sure, make a persuasion check.
All right.
Do you want to do that, Jay, or
Yes.
should I?
I'm quite good at persuasion,
All right, go for it.
surprisingly. 16. I'll try to convince them to make us a deal that we'll pay at the end of the ride if we don't encounter the monster. But if we do encounter it and save the ferry, then it's a free ride.
Also, how long is the ferry ride?
I think it's gonna
Uh,
take the better part of a day.
It's going to take 2 days.
2 days.
Or sorry, a day and a half. So you'll sleep there and you'll get there in the morning.
No.
So it's like you leave in the evening, get there in the morning.
Okay, so Boots would have ritually cast water breathing in the morning before they got on the ferry. And then before
Okay.
she went to bed, she would have cast it again.
Does that seem like a fair deal that they're going for?
Yeah, they say. The guy goes, all right, but if you don't kill it, it's 4 gold a person.
Well, if we don't kill it, we're all dead. It's irrelevant.
We might not run into it. We don't hit it every time.
Or alternatively, if we pay up front and do run into it, we're going to do nothing and watch it wreck your ship.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we don't run into it, yeah?
I kind of hope we do, actually.
Boots will stick her face in the water
Grin will grab her ankles.
and yell, "Hey, Wisp! Wisp, scream!"
She's
Is he drowning
Hey.
her?
I said water breathing. She'll be
Oh,
fine.
I'm just making sure she doesn't fall in.
The guy looks so just like.
Boots will see if it's coming.
Make a perception check.
Oh, I'm actually good at these.
Doesn't seem like
Hey.
it's coming.
I think it's on its way.
Excellent.
Get on the boat.
I'll pull Boots up out of the water.
All right. So let's see. So there. Somebody roll a D100, and we'll see if we encounter the monster.
Jay's good at those. Didn't he roll a 100 the first time he did it?
That's true.
I-
It was with my actual D100 dice,
The golf ball dice.
which I should have on me just for such an occasion, but I both have a cat on me and do not have it nearby.
You guys complete your voyage without issue, and upon landing, he says, "All right, pay up."
All right. 4 gold.
Get
Training day. Who wants to do it? 4 gold each would be 16, 20. Wait,
While we're on,
24.
while we're on the raft, I'll train the Emperor in how to shoot a rifle.
Okay. Yeah, make a dexterity check.
Ooh. Do I have advantage because I didn't move?
No, you need a 21 for him to get a successful training day.
Okay.
It's 25 total between the two of you for the check for a training day.
All right.
Do we not have an advantage on that D100 because Boots yelled at it?
Unfortunately not. Also, it's not advantage to run into monsters.
Why not?
It is if you summon them.
It's true. You guys want to just be like chucking meat overboard subtly the whole time?
We're just
Sure, yeah, we're
ch-
trying to draw it. Yeah, sure.
We're
You-
chumming the whole
Yeah,
time.
we
If you guys want to do that, you can much greatly increase your odds.
I think we will
Yeah.
definitely chum. I mean, we're
Yeah.
trying
Are you,
to get
are you doing this stealthily or just in front of the guy sailing the
in
ship?
front of the guy.
I will do it
Make
stealthily.
direct eye contact.
Make a stealth check, Grin.
All right, let's see here. 7.
Grin is also making direct eye contact, but unintentionally.
He catches you. He grabs the bucket and throws it on the ship. He says, "What are you doing?" He's like, "That's it." And he turns back towards Decorin. "I want 5 gold for each of you when we land safely in Lowry."
No.
All right. And he walks down and he drops the anchor. "We ain't moving then."
Okay.
What is
All
the
right, I'll
anchor
go
on the
back to
ship?
chumming.
Yep, we'll keep chumming.
Is this anchor in a place where I could grab the chain and start pulling it up?
If you wanted to, but it sounds like everyone else is okay with just sitting here and throwing
Yeah.
it into the
Waiting
water.
for the monster to come, yeah.
The
Well,
idea that
I just want to go
not
over to
our
it
last
and
ferry trip.
pull it a little bit to see if I can actually lift it.
Make an athletics check.
Like, we intend to travel on this ferry more in the future.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll just take a different ferry. It's
All right,
fine.
then I just let it down. Let everyone else
No,
do
go
the
ahead,
chum.
go ahead and pull it up.
Okay, I'll just pull it on up.
He's
Thomas, is there more than one ferry?
it's all the same ferry service, but there's a few different ones.
Cool.
Okay.
This guy's just screaming at you guys the whole time, losing his mind. He's like, "You're gonna get us all killed. Are you suicidal? I didn't sign up for this. You're paying for this and you're paying for that."
think you need to talk to our supervisor, Eddie.
Listen, friend.
The emperor,
it'll
the
be fine.
emperor, who looks terrified. He's just watching you guys getting screamed at by the shipwright, throwing shit overboard. He's losing his mind, and the emperor just looks like he's like trying to be as small as possible in the corner.
We're only throwing meat over. We're not throwing everything over.
While in a screaming match with this poor shipwright who thinks he's gonna
I'm not
die.
screaming at him. I'm ignoring him.
He turns towards the emperor at your suggestion and starts screaming at him.
Oh my god.
And he's like, I'm sorry. Kryn, could you stop for a moment? Rogar, please don't touch that. Perhaps we can negotiate? And eventually he just pulls 2 platinum pieces out of his pocket and gives it to the guy.
Okay.
So does the monster come?
You can roll another D100 if you whoever would like to.
Someone else go for it this time.
Okay, I'll take this one then. 24. My lucky
like-
number.
I feel like we did not get it right.
Well, it's a
I think
25% chance.
I was going to say it's 25 or lower. We just hit it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That poor guy. That poor ferry driver. I'm gonna laugh so hard if he actually dies in this.
He loses.
So, do we
Um,
get to make perception checks for if we can see it coming? Because I'm
Oh,
sure we're all looking
You
out
see
for
it
it.
coming.
We see it coming.
As you guys are kind of pulling
I'm
up the anchor and he's dropping it and you're pulling it back up and he's dropping. You guys are like stutter stepping across the river. You see off in the distance this beautiful female figure emerge out of the water about 100 feet away from you.
Does the ferry have like an inside at all?
Yes.
I'm gonna turn to the shipwright and say, "Hey, you might want to go inside."
What's that?
I'm going to turn to him and ask him if he has insurance.
No.
All right.
Like,
I'll
you
try
might
keep
want to
that in
go
mind.
inside.
Oh God. He goes inside. You just hear him sobbing in there, and like you see him. He's like looking at like a small picture of his wife, just like, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
And the emperor just looks over at you guys like, is this normally how you travel? I can't help but feel like we could be being a bit more courteous to our staff.
Well,
He
one,
was
he's
being an
not-
asshole.
One, he's not our
Scarf goes
friend.
below deck too.
And two, this is actually better for them in the long run that we kill this thing that's been killing people and destroying ships.
I suppose I don't think that this is how I want to conduct ourselves if we can help it.
Well, sure, but I'm sure he'd rather us do like this, kill this thing, than encounter it on the
I mean,
way back.
you're a
without us
lady of
here.
court, Jarsali, and you're dumping this man's meats overboard.
We're dumping our meats, not his meats.
Plus, this creature has been injuring and killing a lot of people, so it's actually better if we take care of it now than wait and let it kill more and more people.
All
So,
right.
Eddie, does your first trial by combat await you here? Because maybe we should worry about the diplomacy later.
Well,
As
I've
I
never
knock a
killed
bow,
anything
knock an arrow.
before. I suppose I'd like to use a weapon in combat and maybe slay a bandit or something. My father killed a man in execution when he was around my age, and my grandfather
That's
was
not the
fighting-
How
same.
much
Oh,
time do we have till the creature gets here?
Oh, Eddie. Oh, Eddie.
Well, he's never killed anybody or anything. But you see the mermaid creature. It's like a 10-foot long tail, and then the mermaid. Like it looks like a mermaid with like a 10-foot long tail sticking directly out of the water.
Cool. How far away is it?
It looks like a mermaid on a stick. It's
How
like
far?
100. It's like 100 feet away.
Oh,
I'm gonna shoot it.
I would have.
Oh.
Yeah, I would have acted before 100 feet.
Unless it didn't
Yeah, it just
reveal
would
itself.
Okay,
Okay.
well, as soon as I see it, here comes this little ditty. Oh man, where's the spell card?
Oh.
Son of a bitch.
Well, as you cast Odalug's freezing sphere, it seems to pass through harmlessly, and as it does, you hear a shriek come from the side of the ship behind you. It's an illusion. The actual creature's up behind you. So roll initiative.
Oh.
Oh, could I
Christ.
have made perceptions to see? Could we have made perceptions to see the actual creature? Because it's pretty big, right?
It's pretty big. It's also pretty hidden. Yeah, I'll let you guys do that. Actually, that's,
Well,
I
it
should
would
have
have,
learned that originally.
stealth
Eh.
would actually have to beat our passive perception. Is how that would be if we're not actively. I
Unless
suppose
you
we
see,
were actively
unless
looking for
Well, you would have thought
unless-
you had already seen it. Is kind of the idea, I think. But I'll let you guys make one if you want, because
well-
you were looking out for it.
well, we'd probably need to make an intelligence check to see if we see through the illusion, right?
Well, we would need to have a reason to see through the illusion. is
Yeah.
usually how that goes.
You'd have to be like, I'm going to look through that and see if it's an illusion, if there's anything
Well,
weird about
if
it.
I knew what this thing was, did I know that it did like illusions and shit like that?
Probably not.
Okay.
You probably just know that they can appear as beautiful figures, but you're not sure if that's
Okay.
them or if that's just what they look like or what.
All right.
I'll say,
Also,
Boots, you would have seen a creature moving below you, so I won't. You aren't surprised.
okay. Because I also have a passive perception of 19.
Oh yeah, you're good. And you watch as this creature comes through the water. You see this elderly female with long, stringy hair, although its mouth is open, much larger than a normal human mouth would be. It's got spines running down its back, and its body begins to turn fish-like, about around the torso, almost like a mermaid, only very long. Like this creature's probably 40 feet long, even though its torso is only human size. Its arms are very long, almost as long as a human's body might be, and it's just got these completely white eyeballs, and its mouth opens up, and you just hear this. It's doesn't make a very loud sound, but its whole body's like vibrating as it kind of roars. It's almost like shaking seaweed is kind of the visual that you get, just like vibrating.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Oh, that's a cool picture.
that is a
Where
really
would
cool
the
picture.
anchor be on the ship? Because that's where I would be.
There would be like a below deck winch for it.
Yeah, but he was pulling it up by hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you can pull it up by hand, but
How much does it
I thought you
weigh?
were like using the winch.
Oh no. Does it weigh less than 600 pounds?
No,
How much
it
does a boat anchor weigh?
depends on the size of the
With
boat.
the chain.
The
it's
chain
also
is the heaviest part.
But it also would be lighter underwater.
For this ship, let's see, this is a galleon. 1,100 pounds.
Then I would
Well,
not
wait.
be able to pull it up.
How long is this ship? This is 75 feet long, so it's more like the size of a sloop than a galleon. Because galleons, like, it's talking like a man of war, like a
That's
big
fair.
fucking ship.
A sloop anchor is around 200 pounds, so you're fine.
You're right.
I can roll for him if you want this thing to roll for, but actually we have access to his art, but not the character sheet, by the way.
Oh, really?
Or at least I.
Yeah, no,
That's all I
just
have
want
access
the
to.
art.
No, now I have access to it.
Yeah, now we do. Only has 35 hit points. Wait, is that still more than?
It's more than Takoran.
No, it's not. I have 37.
And does it have a surprise round?
But
it
if he
does,
gets
except-
one level,
except for on boots.
he'll have more. And
What'd
he'll
you
probably
say,
level up
Thomas?
after this?
It would have a surprise round on everyone except for Boots.
And
Okay.
me, because I have
Alert.
You
This
can't be
thing.
surprised.
well, as long as I enter rage, I can take my turns normal.
Would you have already? Oh, I see.
As,
I see.
as long as the first thing I do on my turn.
Oh, he's gonna attack the Emperor. Here we go.
Education time.
Boots will cast.
That actually doesn't hit him.
Well, wait. Boots would go before this thing, though.
Oh, you're right. Boots is
And-
moving towards the Emperor.
So,
Then I would cast a 6th level moonbeam on top of it.
Okay.
and the Emperor would not be. His initiative is higher, so would he not get attacked at advantage because he's?
Yeah, it would not be at advantage.
Okay.
Here, there we go. So, DC 17 con save. So 26 radiant damage. And oh shoot, what is this?
Low roll.
I know, right?
As the moonbeam comes down on it, you watch as its body immediately lights on fire, and it's like writhing around like an inflatable man outside of like a car dealership. You know,
The wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Yeah, that's what it's doing, and it immediately catches on fire when exposed to radiance.
Okay, and then I will also do my archer form.
17 hits.
15 additional radiant damage.
Yeah, it hates that. Okay, it would reach forward, try to constrict the Emperor, miss, and then it will take its second attack at Boots.
It would also have to make another con save for Moonbeam.
Another con save for Moonbeam.
Another 26. No, it would pass it, right?
Yeah, so it'd take half.
Okay.
So it'd take misses.
Ooh.
That would hit. We'll see if that does any. Nope. All right. 9 bludgeoning. DC 15 strength.
Hey!
Good.
And you have to make a con save to maintain concentration on
Yes.
beam.
I do.
What's your second form? Because that matters.
Oh, I took the serpent, so I have +2 to AC.
Oh, okay. Then it would also take 5 poison damage from hitting you.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. All these new things. Yeah, I'm good.
Drasali.
Skip me.
Is it a new round?
Oh, did I skip you?
Oh, yeah, he as long as he rages.
Oh,
first,
that's right. Yeah, forgot.
Yeah.
About your,
So-
your fancy thing.
First thing I rage, then I run up and attack her twice.
Okay.
12 on a 19
Yeah, that'll do it.
or 12-29.
I'm guessing the 12 misses, but 29.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
29
28.
will hit.
So is this thing like 30, 40 feet up out of the water or something like that?
Yes.
That'll be it.
It is 40 feet long, but its torso is only human-sized.
All right, now my turn. Then?
Yep.
I will bonus action to activate Blade Song. Well, I think this thing's going to be dead before I really do much. And I will cast Investiture of Wind. So I have 60 feet of flying. I'll fly over here. It's my turn.
Okay.
Oh, and I will actually draw my whip. So I'll be over there. Oh, hold on. There's actually more. Oh, but it's not like he's in action for it, so carry on.
Okay. I am going to use the caliber net upgrade on my gun, and I'm going to shoot a net at it. And it has to make a DC, let me see, 15 strength save, I think. Okay, it is restrained by my net.
Oh boy.
And then I'm going to action surge and shoot it.
Okay.
And I haven't moved, so that gives me advantage, so it's a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
34 piercing damage.
All right. Elwyn looks shaky. You can see his hands tremble, and he steps forward. He's going to try to stab it.
Go, Eddie.
He drives his blade across its wrist. You see one of its elongated fingers sever, and it rides around as it's still like it's basically its arms like flailing. It swings by him. He picks his sword up and manages to slice off a finger, and he just kind of looks back at Rogar and is like, "I did it!"
I'm gonna yell at him, stay focused!
Booth.
I will use my archer form again. Did 16 hit?
16 does not hit.
It's restrained.
Is
Doesn't that give you advantage on attacks against it?
I think so. It actually might.
Distressed creature have advantage.
So that's 23?
Yep.
Okay.
And it
For
has
12.
disadvantage on attacks.
12 radiant, and then I will use a guiding bolt
Okay.
at level 1. Ooh. Oh, 21.
Yeah.
Well,
29.
you're in melee with it, so technically it'd be a straight roll.
Oh, you're right. So 13. Actually, both of those would have.
Ooh, so those.
So neither of those
both
would have hit.
miss. Yeah.
Um,
I'll give it health back. Is that it for you?
I believe so. Because I don't think I can step away without getting an opportunity attack.
It will use one of its attacks to attack the net. I think it has 5 hit points.
It doesn't. What it says is it can use a action to try to break it. No, it says at the end of its turn it can repeat the save.
Oh, okay. And I think restrain you can still attack at disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
You can attack at disadvantage, yes.
Okay, it will try to attack Jarsali then.
Hold on, let me check. That will hold on.
It's a 13.
22. Oh yeah, never. Yeah, that definitely would hit then.
That'll miss, and it will take a bite attack at her.
That's a 23.
23.
The 23 would hit, except for I will shield it.
And a tail attack at the Emperor.
It would have been actually a 19.
And the Emperor manages to duck underneath its tail as its inflatable tube manning. Corn.
I am going to go ahead and cast haste on the Emperor. And I will use my Vorpal Timepiece of Cade to attempt to reduce the monster's proficiency by 3. But it needs to make a save against that. Let's see, what kind of save is it again?
Wisdom, right? Yeah.
Ooh!
Yeah, nope. So its proficiency goes down by 3. And that's it.
Oh, it should have taken moonbeam damage. Let me
Oh,
roll
yep.
that again. I forgot about that.
Oh, man.
These fails.
It's got a pretty damn good con, too. It's just rolling like shit.
25. Wow, I am rolling terrible.
I mean,
for these.
at this point, random encounters for you guys aren't much of a challenge. You're high level. They aren't, and they shouldn't be. They're more of a.
This is all for Eddie.
Yeah.
Where'd our turn thing go? That's weird. Oh, there it is.
There it is. And can you use that on?
Oh, it needed to make a strength save again to see if it could break the net. Okay, it's out of the net now.
Is that it for you, Takorn?
That's it.
Would the strength save have been at disadvantage?
No.
No. Okay.
I will attack it recklessly twice. 22, 27.
Yep.
So 15 and 19. 34.
Yep. And then I will use my Daunting Roar. Must make a. What is that? Wisdom save. It passes.
Surly.
All right. I cold snap it twice. Assuming I'm flanking, so 17
17 will hit.
and 19. So
19 will hit.
13 on the first one and 8 on the second one.
All right. Kryn, it's looking pretty low.
I'll shoot it with my gun. 29 damage.
29. It is so barely still alive.
Well, the Emperor's going to get to kill it, maybe, huh?
Oh. Oh, maybe. Oh, that works out. Hopefully he hits, huh?
Yeah.
Well, he is flanking, so
He is
he's got
flanking.
+2. And he has haste,
And
so he has an
haste,
extra.
so- Oh.
Oh, 14 misses. He gets a second attack, right?
Yeah. For
Yeah, he's got
haste.
hit. No!
And he's got action surge. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey!
Yay! 20.
You see the creature, it's so hurt from the radiant damage and the hits, it slumps forward across the deck of the ship. It's just laying there with its torso as its tail hangs in the water. Owen runs up, he takes his sword, and he moves to decapitate it. He slams it down, it doesn't go through the neck. He lifts up, he slams down again, it only cuts partway through the neck. And finally, on the third attack with his short sword, he lifts up and he slams down and manages to decapitate the creature, which immediately begins to flail horribly and dissolve into a mix of sea foam and oil.
Spewing him with the mixture all over,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
sure.
like, and you see he's just still hacking at it. Like the oil sprays in his eyes. He can't see anything. He's still like swinging his sword around. He's like, it's got me. I'm dying.
I'm gonna walk up and grab the sword or grab his hand and make him stop.
You got it. It's dead. Good job, Eddie.
I killed it. He wipes his head away and he looks. Where's it gone? It's. Oh.
Fell back into the water.
He just looks down at his leather armor that's not his, that's too big for him, and he's covered in like oil and sea foam, and he just looks back at all you and goes, I did it.
Good job.
And he runs over the side of the ship and starts vomiting. It's in my mouth. He just starts vomiting over the side of the ship.
I'll go pat him on the back. Say, yeah, the rewards of a job well done.
And then about a minute later, he gets incredibly tired for a few seconds as the haste wears off.
I feel. That's cool. I'm gonna go lie down. And he stumbles below deck and just goes to bed.
You did a great job.
I'm gonna grab the head and walk below deck and pop my head into the guy's room and say, hey, we killed it. Here's its head. We get a free ride now, right? Okay, cool. Bye. We go back up deck.
I'm gonna take a look over the
Well, it's not a free ride.
edge.
He got 2 platinum from.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a look over the edge. Did it do any damage to the ship?
Didn't get a chance.
Okay.
That thing didn't get to do the one thing that it's really good at, which is pull you under the water and then obliterate you.
Ah.
A little sad you guys didn't get to see its obliterate ability, but hang on, I'll post it because it's cool.
Exodia. Oh, obliterate.
Basically, what it does is it didn't hit the constrict on anybody. It constricts you, pulls you under the water, and it can do this ability when it's underwater.
Ooh. Spicy.
96. Wow. Strength score reduced by 1d4. Wow.
Only a 16 con save though.
Who fails begins drowning. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's scary.
Is that even if they had water breathing on them?
Yes.
I guess, well, if you had water breathing on you, would you begin drowning?
How would
not
you
gonna
dr- How would you drown?
Oh,
with
I guess
water
you wouldn't,
breathing?
huh? It just so normally it takes a minute for you to start drowning, so that just
Good.
expedites the minute. So I guess you wouldn't if you had water breathing.
I think it's a minute per your con mod.
Still pretty scary.
Yeah, it's 1 minute plus 1 minute per your Constitution modifier.
So Takorin starts
It-
drowning
it-
immediately when he hits water.
Yeah.
It can't go less than 1.
Yeah, I don't do well in the water.
He just jumps into water and goes, I'm drowning!
He's like Crash Bandicoot on those games. Like he just touches water and he's like,
Yeah.
it's like Mario. He just hits the water.
Ezio Auditore, master assassin, cannot swim.
Drinking water is very tough for Takorin.
The Emperor killed a thing, so
Being water adjacent.
I think that counts as a successful level up. He beat a CR5 creature at level 3. We'll
Yeah.
level him up here.
Nice.
Sweet.
Ooh, he gets a feat.
Or a +2 to something.
And 10 hit points.
Yep, see, now he's got more HP than me.
10 plus con.
47 hit points.
He now
This
has
is con.
10 more HP than I do.
His con is
This is
2.
It's con is 2. Nice.
And I guess since you guys are like his trainers, is there a feat you guys think he should have?
Inspiring leader.
That's a good one.
There's a good one.
Tough.
Tough's a good one.
Magic Initiate? No, kidding.
Luck.
Lucky Feet's a little too broken.
Inspiring
doesn't-
leader's probably a good one.
He doesn't have enough charisma for it.
Mhm.
It requires 13 charisma.
Mm.
We need to train him on charisma.
Rogar get right at it.
You can take an ability score increase, I guess, I suppose.
I love that. PC.
Or fighting initiate, he gets an additional fighting style.
That could be good, yeah.
Yeah, he'll do that.
What's his current fighting sire? Defense?
A duelist.
Duelist. Well, that doesn't work if he's a shield, does it?
Nope, but that's what he would be trained because they only fight one-on-one in his training classes.
Is he using his shield, or did he use his shield just now?
Yep.
Well, that doesn't make any damn sense. If he's going to be a duelist, he needs to throw away the shield.
It's true. Actually, no, we can say he is defensive, and he'll take. Let me figure it out. He'll just
There's
take an
his
ability score increase. This is too much work.
There you go.
I guess he'll up his dex. Better attacks.
Makes sense. Better dodges too.
Mm.
Better AC.
Mhm.
That actually would increase his AC by 2 with the defensive, and then the extra dex.
No, I think there's a max with studded leather. I think it's 2's the max, right?
No, leather doesn't limit it.
Studded.
It's medium armor that limits it.
Even studded leather doesn't limit your.
Okay, he has a 24 AC.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and take a 5 here because I gotta use the bathroom.
All right.
All right.
And
I will do
you
the
guys
same.
complete your journey and are kicked off the boat promptly at Lowry.
Oh, come on. He's not happy that we killed the thing.
No, you forced him to fight to be a passerby in a monster fight he did not want to be a part of. You hijacked his ship to fight a monster.
Thank you for the lovely trip.
Boots
We're
got to be a
trying
pirate.
Kinda.
Yeah, a little
We
bit.
Yeah, we're river pirate.
I would definitely say we were scallywags.
We were definitely scallywags. All right, I'll be right back too.
A lot's happening this session. I'm sorry if we're going so fast. It's just travel is.
That's how travel kind of is.
Yeah, in D&D you travel so fast because doing every travel day I feel like is boring, but I feel like we're doing okay.
Yeah.
We're
Good balance.
we're not just wandering around, but we're stopping places. We're all still not just like, okay, and then there's a fork in the road. You want to go left or right?
No, I
Down the
think
middle.
travel is like something that can be really hard to balance because on the one hand, you actually want to feel like the passing of time and that the characters are doing things.
Mhm.
But you also don't want to be like, on day 1 of your journey, this journey will take 30 days, so we'll go one by one. Like you don't need to do that. but-
Your eggs were overcooked this morning.
And the ancient white dragon flew down.
You did not sleep very well.
You got dysentery.
Dysentery.
Oh no, Paul has died. Do you want to ford the river?
Isn't Paul already
Not
dead? though?
Paul.
Oh no, Paul. I'm wearing Paul.
I'm back.
By the way,
Yeah.
has Paul said anything to the Emperor while we've been on this trip?
I don't
Probably.
think so.
See, they've been chatting.
The Emperor
Paul is
would probably
very
be a little put off by him.
Fine. Boots would be like, "This is Paul. Paul is my friend. Paul is all of our friends. Be nice to Paul.
I have no friends. I am an object.
Paul, you're my friend.
I have no concept of.
Paul, you're my friend. This is Paul, my friend.
I can't get tired of
Paul.
informing you that you're wrong. I literally.
Shh.
Okay, I'm Paul.
My friend.
Elwyn. Paul, how did you come into the service of Lady Boots? And he goes, she killed me, and now I'm trapped, forever existing. And she wants me to be her friend.
I don't want you to be my friend. We are friends.
To be fair, Paul, you were already dead.
Also true.
I've been dead
You were
for
dead.
so long.
And now you just have a new purpose in your death, which is my friend.
They re-killed you.
The Emperor looks so confused.
So we went to get Rogar a fancy sword for a thing he needs to do. And in doing so, we had to go into this dwarven ruin that was like a puzzle that the guy who made the sword made, and Paul was the first guardian there. He was a friend of the dwarf and was there to guard it or something along those lines. Friend of the dwarf in life. And we had to fight Paul. We tried to not fight Paul, but we had to fight Paul.
You had to fight me. There was no other way.
That's what you told us, Paul.
And I really thought I would stop existing. It's weird that I've existed this long.
We didn't know what was going to happen either, but we're glad to have you with us now.
Because we're friends.
Too
Boots is like glaring at Paul.
Paul is like, I'm indifferent.
You can stare at me as long as you want. I'm literally incapable of feeling awkward.
She's just gonna shove him back into her her little satchel and be like, I'll let you think about the fact that you don't think we're friends because we are friends. And you should
That's
know
because we're not.
Too bad we didn't meet Paul before you guys did that one shot in West March, where you met Old Boots.
Oh, God.
Oh,
With Paul
God.
being there too.
Like I've been telling you for 2,000 years, we're not friends.
that.
I don't have a concept of friendship that doesn't. Okay.
In 2,000 years, Boots would have made like a full curriculum of like what friends are.
And on
Taught it to Paul.
On a Saturday, we're gonna make more flower crowns. So you guys would arrive in Lowry by ship, and it's a little familiar to you. You guys haven't been here in a while. It's looking nice. It looks like it's grown quite a bit. It's getting a good bit of traffic.
Any signs of fire?
No signs of fire.
Okay. Well, I guess we can go see if the Hunters Guild has a bounty on this. They might. Since we're here.
Oh, did we take like a souvenir or something from the
The
dead?
head.
Yeah, we got the
Oh.
head.
I missed that part. Sorry.
Here, Eddie, you take this. We'll go to the Hunters Guild and you can try to turn it in. You killed it after all.
Yeah, the Emperor expertly decapitated it about as well as Theon Greyjoy.
He's like, I'm hungry first. Could we stop by a tavern or something? We haven't had real food
Absolutely.
in a while.
We'll find a tavern.
Okay.
Isn't there the golden goal? We've been there before.
You guys make your way to the Golden Gull. You see all of the spray painted pigeons that are painted gold that float around it. You see a large sign that says home of the hero's famous bugbear pie. This is where Garganto had the bugbear pie that was super, super delicious that he loved. And the Emperor's like, oh, let's get some food. I'm starving.
Yeah, see, the famous bugbear pie.
Wait, that thing that we met in the... You people eat those?
Garganto ate anything.
Everything is edible if you try hard enough.
I don't...
Meat is meat.
Hilbrim always said you guys ate each other.
Now, listen. It's an unusual case. For the most part, people don't eat people.
Do I have to eat the bugbear?
Of course not.
You don't have to.
I'll have chicken.
No, chickens eat other chickens.
When you said that, it made me think of the Hound in a Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You don't shut your fucking mouth. I'm gonna have to eat every chicken in this place.
You guys sit down at the Golden Goal. You're welcomed back by the proprietor. You're given chicken, which looks suspiciously like pigeon. The Emperor eats it tentatively. The rest of you are able to order whatever foods you'd like as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is he like trying to fork and knife a drumstick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, no. Grab it like this, and I'll grab the end of the drumstick, and you just bite into it.
He puts like his combat glove on, and then he
Take your goddamn glove off. Grab it with your fingers.
It's
It's what
greasy.
napkins. It's what napkins are for.
Yeah, get in there.
He takes a napkin, lays it out on his lap.
Solly also might be fork and knife in it with a drumstick, though.
He like lays the napkin down on his lap and like tucks it into his collar like a bib, and then eats it very carefully. Splendid. He's like holding it with like two fingers and like taking little nibbles to like not spill any of it on himself.
This is not.
I'm gonna
beneficial
reach
to
across
going
the
to town.
table and like wrap his fingers around it like this.
Oh yes, of course. What'd you say, Boots?
Oh, she's just not even really paying attention, and it's like going to town.
What is
She
she
has no
eating?
manners.
Is she also eating pigeon?
Yeah.
All right. You all eat your tasty pigeons.
Oh yeah, pigeon pie.
I'm actually having something I had recently in real life. It's like a pastry wrapped around sausage that they make in England on Boxing Day. They call it. It's really good.
Sausage roll?
Huh?
Sausage roll?
That might be what it's called. I don't remember if it
Beef
had a
Wellington?
different.
On more than just.
It's
sausage.
kind of like poor man's beef Wellington. It's not as complicated, but it's a similar idea.
Pigs in a blanket.
No, it's just
it's
a sausage
like a big
rolled
pig
in
in a
puff
blanket.
pastry, right?
Yeah, it's just a sausage roll. Yeah, it's a
so
sausage roll.
sausage roll.
It's not like
You
a
can get 'em
tube
like that.
sausage. It's like ground sausage that they're really good.
They're really common, but very good. Yes.
Yeah, very common in the UK.
Yes, in the UK.
Excellent bar food. Like
Mm.
they're the perfect amount of bready and greasy that you would want in bar food.
So, to the Thieves Guild then? Or not Thieves Guild, the Hunters Guild.
The Hunters Guild, yes.
You guys make your way in.
I'll holding the head by the hair. I'll hand it to the Emperor.
He walks
Yeah.
forward and plops it on the front desk. It like splatters, and he says, "I killed this. Is there a bounty?" And the front desk lady's like, "Sir, please remove all animal products from the table. Thank you." He removes it. All right. What job are we here for, sweeties? He's like, "I killed the river monster. I hacked its head to pieces with 3 mighty blows, and my friends here, I couldn't have done it without them. We were on a ship, and we saw this." And she's like, "Okay, the river monster bounty, all right. It's 250 gold pieces, it looks like. Otherwise, you can pay out in guild benefits if you're a member."
Well, that was a wisp screamer.
And the bounty set at 250. If you wanted to hire a bounty, you could have negotiated before you left.
Well, we can negotiate now.
Make a persuasion check.
We will go put this head back where we found it.
19.
We will true res this monster if we have to.
350.
We got an offer for 1,000 from the town over.
Then go collect 1,000 bounty. We're not paying you out for the same bounty.
I wasn't gonna try to double dip on the bounty. Was just hoping you would match him.
How do I know you're not just gonna go collect another bounty?
Well,
Because
we're
we'll
gonna
give
leave
you the
with
head.
Yeah, all right. 1,000 gold.
I'll nod towards the Emperor.
Puts the head back on there. She says, "No, not on the." And she pulls out a bag and stuffs the head in. All right. Happy hunting, sweethearts.
Have a good one. Pleasure as always.
Are there
Bye,
bounties
Roz.
in the area?
exactly who I was thinking of too.
Our bounties are on hold at the moment. We've been having some problems with guild members going out and being ambushed by fire creatures or these dust fellows. So we're not really out looking for trouble unless it's in our way, like it is with the river here.
What if you
So-
wanted to get ambushed by fire thingies or bush people?
Not too many of them out here. Where you're gonna want to go a little bit west of here, either out into the swamps or farther. Probably farther.
So they're going after guild members. Why?
I don't know. There's these groups of people we call them trenchers, and they're trying to like preserve the monsters, but they're really terrible at it. I don't know why they don't have people more adept at handling monsters. They always die. But we slay the beasts, and they want to keep them. So there's some conflict out in the field at the moment, but we'll get it resolved.
I see. So they want to capture him. Okay. Sounds like what the Howlers used to do back in the gutter.
I can't stress enough. They're really bad at it.
I believe you. I've seen Howlers lose control of a beast before.
Oh, Howlers are all dead, sweetheart. They got massacred by some unknown gang and came in with rifles and shot them all to pieces.
Yeah, I was there for that, but
Oh, really? Good job.
I didn't do it.
No, never mind.
Anyway,
Was there a bounty for people that did?
What?
Was there a bounty for people that did?
Oh, we didn't set about what fuck those guys. I'm not giving you a bounty. I give them a high five and a pigeon pie.
so do you have a bounty on potential trenchers?
We don't really set bounties on people. It's not really our
Well,
thing.
not kill
Do you
bounties,
want-
but like a living bounty.
If you want to talk to the guild head, I could go fetch her.
I'd just like to know more about what's going on. I've been out of the area for a while.
I think we would enjoy meeting the lead of your guild.
All right, I'll fetch her. And she leaves, comes back a little bit later. You guys have met the guild leader once before, when you collected before you collected your bounty, because she gave you guys the lightning paste
All right.
that you used to kill the Luxman Terror. The red tiefling comes down. She's in like a suit and tie, female, long horns that are almost like slicked back. It looks like, just kind of in the way they grow. And she comes down. She says, "Well, as I live and breathe, I didn't expect to see you all here again. Welcome back to the Hunters Guild. I am Ezkaya."
We were just wanting to know what's going on with the trenchers.
Oh, yes. After the Howlers were defeated, there was a struggle for power off in the gutter, I'm told. One individual came out on top, and the other three, the couriers, the ordained, and the remaining dust agents have all kind of coalesced into the trenchers and are spreading out their influence. There's been talks that they're looking to establish a type of universal government system within the Borderlands, which we are not privy to. The whole point of the Borderlands is that we get to live free here without an overruling federal government. They're trying to establish a universal law or a code. We've seen several drafts of it sent on our door, but we've thrown them all in the waste.
Do you remember what those drafts entailed at all?
Oh, it's codes, taxes and things, no stealing, rules for conflicts. They're essentially trying to establish themselves as kind of not a ruling force, but an enforcement of an honor code of sorts. Kind of like a thieves' code that they want all the cities in the Borderlands to agree to for order purposes and power, and they would be the enforcers of these rules, but we have yet to agree.
I understand they've been hunting some of your guild members.
Not hunting, but if they run over the same quarry, there's scuffles and skirmishes.
I see. Keep that in mind. Thank you.
I have a question, if you don't mind, a random one. I don't think we've met. Hello, I'm Jarsali.
Ezkaya, nice to meet you.
Do you have any strong opinions or any opinions at all on the Emperor and the Empire?
That's an interesting question. She's gonna make an insight check.
Jarsali's not from around here. She's from, I don't remember, very
My
far
land is
east.
called-
Make
my
a
land is-
deception check with advantage, Jarsali.
My land is
She's
called
not from around
Vesperia.
here.
I
Yeah.
am not from around here. I'm trying to learn
Yeah,
as much
that's
as
fair.
I can about the local peoples.
Well, there's some tension. Some time ago, the Empire made an aggressive advance on the world and conquered many small nations. The last ruler was a kind man, good-hearted. He sought to pay reparations to the people that were damaged. And the young one, I haven't heard much about. The new ruler, he was coronated just 2 years ago. I've heard that he's wise, perhaps a bit naive, young, and that he's privy to hearing what his advisors say. Although, unfortunately, many of his advisors seem crazed from what we've heard.
What would you hope for from the Emperor?
So, well, I hope he just mind his own business. We're perfectly fine here. We don't need people trying to help us. We are Lowry. We are not a country. We are not a city-state. We are just our own people. We trade with others nearby, but we don't need a government or anything like that. That's what these trenches are trying to do. They're trying to establish their own codified law. That's not what the Borderlands is about. It's about people finding their own way.
And what would you fear most from him?
I mean, look at Elray. It got destroyed in the middle of a conflict between the Alliance and the Empire. I would be afraid that the same would befall my people.
Fascinating. Thank you for indulging a foreigner. I find all of this so terribly intriguing.
It's a unique dynamic, certainly. And I'm going to take a look at the Emperor and just
Make an insight.
see. Yeah, I want to see what he thought about all that. 23.
He's listening in. He's not surprised by anything that was said.
Okay.
And it seems to just like that seems to already be the direction that his mind was heading, and that's just another piece of the pie.
Confirmation. Yeah.
Like that's what everybody's been telling him, so that's just another one.
Yeah. Well, we've taken enough of your time. Thank you.
Yes. She gives a bow, walks off.
Shall we just kind of wander around town and see what there is to see? Or does anyone else have any ideas?
I still want to run across the fire people.
Yeah, it sounds like that's happening more out west.
Yeah, I think that's probably something we'll do.
So that's where we're going to get to the trenchers anyway, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should see what else is behind some of these black marks in the town.
We will wander around town and reveal all the black marks.
Of course.
Just do a little tour.
Well,
So we probably would have passed this one black mark on the way from the Golden Gull to the Hunters Guild.
that's a temple of Ivala. Ivala is kind of the mother god of taverns and celebrations. She's known as the Tavern Soul. She's the god of like weddings, cheering, celebrations, graduations, things like that. And all of her temples are essentially, rather than being like places of worship, it's kind of like a very low key party all the time. Like, don't think like crazy party. It's just like, it's a nice place where people go and they drink and they cheers their glasses and they celebrate their achievements. People go there after graduating from their universities or getting a new job or getting married, things like that. So she's kind of the god of taverns and celebration.
And this one looks like it's probably like a blacksmith or something.
That is a forge that has a very rare material called blue steel. blue steel is a metal that specializes in killing spectral undead.
Mm.
Ooh.
I wonder when they'll upgrade to magnum.
I was thinking the same thing, Aaron. It's like a material that can't turn left.
Thomas doesn't get these jokes.
He doesn't. Because he's never seen Zoolander.
There's a market which sells all types of fish and seafoods, very rare, huge ones, bigger than you've ever seen. All types of exotic things like that. There's City Hall, and there is the lighthouse, the Dawn Seeker.
Well, I don't know if there's anything else for us to do in this town, really.
What is this, a town for ants?
What is this?
It must be at least twice this size.
Well, I imagine we'd go on a mini shopping spree in the central market.
Yeah, we
Re-up
just...
on the basics. Oh, you guys have 1,000 gold now, which I guess you'd all split.
Yeah.
How many ways?
We have to split it 6 ways because of the Emperor.
He would forego his share, as he's very rich.
Critton would say, no, you were part of the hunt. You killed it. Take your share.
The first money you've ever earned.
You'll think about that and then take the coin. So everybody gets 166, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Something
Let's
like
see.
that.
Yeah, everybody gets 166 gold, and then there's like 3 left over. So we can put 3 gold in the party loot for emergencies.
There you go. We'll just spend 3 gold on lunch.
There you go.
Have a really nice
That's a
lunch.
big lunch. In modern money, that's like a $300 lunch.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for 5 of you, that's not crazy. For 6 of you. Cool. You guys would restock on your basic rations, I'd assume, and you could sleep at the Golden Goal if you'd like.
Sure.
Does anyone want to get any blue steel magnum stuff?
No, but I will try to talk the Emperor into a card game. Or maybe dice.
It's like, I've never gambled before. I've been told it's not noble-like. Let's do it.
All right.
How daring.
I am a ringer. I should let you know up front.
So what are you guys playing?
Liar's dice.
I gotta look up how to play Liar's Dice in D&D.
No, isn't that the game that they play on Pirates of the Caribbean? Yeah.
It is.
You can't play this game in D&D. This is impossible.
Okay, well, we'll say it's Liar's dice and make it something else.
All right, everybody, you just want to roll. How in depth do you guys want to go with the gambling here?
Not super.
All right, everybody, we'll just roll a d20.
We're gonna do rollies.
I'm not playing. I'm just watching.
Oh, Rogar's playing too. Okay.
He's like,
should have a
I
banner.
suppose they don't call you the master of coins for nothing, Tokoran. And everybody shoves their money over to you.
So close.
He's got a good poker face.
I think it's the beard. I can't see what his expressions are.
All the wrinkles.
And the wrinkles, yeah, the beard and the wrinkles. It's like he has no facial expression at all.
Sometimes we don't know if he's sleeping or dead. And I'll just throw something at him and say, oops. And sometimes he moves.
Oh. Well then, what is the next plan? Are we walking towards all the way over?
I thought we were gonna sail down
Are
to.
we sailing?
Yeah, we're gonna take the ferry down, and then we're gonna walk back up.
So you're going ferry down where?
To Lavencaster.
Oh, we're going to Lavencaster. That's a fun one. It'll be 3 more days. 4 more days.
I guess we would have left our cart and horse in Arendelle.
Yep.
Donated them to the farm.
Well, no, we let him borrow them. We'll be coming back, so.
Yeah, we were coming back through Airedale on
Like
our
another
way in.
3 years.
So if I'm doing the math right, that we'll say 4 days there. So if you're there, that's a 5th day.
Well, isn't it twice as fast going by river though?
That's true. That's true. So you could spend 3 days in Lavencaster if you want, and then still have time to make it to the trench if you want to go there. Otherwise, you can hang out in Lavencaster and maybe check out the dwarf hold and stuff.
I think we probably want to go to the trench, but let's spend just a day or 2 there.
Kind of rebranded the gutter as the trench.
Yeah, that's where we want to go there. Sure. And hopefully we'll run into these. What is it that the hound says? These firefuckers.
The incendiaries.
Well, we don't know if they're the incendiaries.
It's true.
I like firefuckers.
You guys make your way to Lavencaster, a town you guys have not been in for some time and barely explored while you were here.
Yeah.
You guys were here for a while, actually. You just didn't explore it very much.
So do we get? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you arrive in Lavencaster. There's large hills outside the port. The most important part of Lavencaster is the Grailstone Academy, a very prestigious college. There is a temple to Bostis here. The rest of you guys haven't explored. You make your way in. You see there's a notice out front that says, by the Council of 6, trenchers are not welcome in Lavencaster. And as you guys approach, they say, "Halt!
What's up?
What is your business in the city?
Just visiting.
And where are your people from?"
I'm from the Borderlands. Not everyone here is. This one's from Elfland.
Are you associated with the trench or the gutter, or have you ever been?
Well, a long time ago I was from there, but
They give each other a look.
I didn't have any association with any of the gangs. If that.
Make a
We
persuasion.
were at, well, I'd like to add to that.
Sure, yeah.
Our group was at one point captured in the trench before escaping.
Very well, I'll need names for the record.
Kren,
To Corin.
Oops.
That's Rogar.
Edward. All right.
Do we get 2 days of training, by the way?
Yes, actually, yeah, you would. And do you have any business here with the Council of 6?
I might want to talk to him. We're kind of wanting to know what's going on with these trenchers.
We would be very interested to meet them.
Yeah. It's new information. We've also heard something about.
They give you a weird look, like you don't just show up and meet the council.
Well, if you could pass them a message that the Lord of Coin from the Empire would be interested in meeting them.
Make a persuasion check.
23.
One of them goes, "You think the Lord of Coin from the Empire would bother trudging his ivory ass down through the scum that is the Borderlands?" And the other guard goes, "No, dude, that's him." He's like, "What? No, dude, that's totally him. I saw him before."
He's not ivory. He's wrinkly, and that's him.
He's like, "That's really him?" He's like, "Yeah, that's him." He's like, "Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean any offense."
Gonna be like, it's not really him.
I will let them know I didn't mean any offense. Why are you in the Borderlands?
None your business.
We're on
Not yet.
official Empire business, but
Of course.
for now we're just taking a respite in Lavencaster.
Of course, I'll arrange a dinner with the council.
Excellent. Thank you.
I'm gonna lean down to the Emperor and whisper, "Remember, you're not a noble. At the dinner, you have to eat like you're not a noble. You don't have to make a mess or be sloppy.
Do I have to use my hands again?
Depends on what they're serving."
Oh man.
You definitely have to use your hands.
I think it would be acceptable for you to eat in a civilized manner, just maybe not too civilized.
Good middle ground.
All right. Well, what do you guys want to do in Lavencaster while you're here?
We want to unveil all the black signs. And we want to meet the council.
I mean, we want to explore.
We want to explore the city.
We want to mark off objectives on the map.
That's right.
Yeah, specifically like this area.
So there is 6 quarters. One is for each member of the council of 6.
I see.
Nice.
And then there is just the Bostis Temple, which is kind of like the religion of the arena that Rogar hangs out in, the Bostis Arena.
I'm going to say to Rogar, "Hey, you want to go to the temple?"
I'll nod.
I'll go with you. You want to come too, Eddie?
Sure.
Might get to see some good fights.
Yes, Bostis is an important terrace of protection and honor in the Empire. I think that all of his temples are good places to be and should be interesting. Yes.
This isn't where that champion from my consequences are.
It's not. He's in the
Okay.
true south. He's south of here.
No.
You guys make your way in. All around is people exercising, lifting weights, doing pull-ups. People are working their way into just sweaty, sublime states in the Bostis religion or following. Just like the more you work out, the closer the connection to the god.
Glorious gains, bro.
Yeah, there's all these. There's one wall is like with a bunch of mirrors, and there's people looking into them flexing. You see, there's this massive great hammer on a pedestal in the center. And yeah, it's just like a big gym basically, and there's a very small section with a few books about like Bostis lore.
Is the great hammer like? Is there any lore about like lifting it or anything like that?
If you go, what languages do you speak?
Elven or Sylvan, rather. Common, Undercommon, and Gnomish.
You can't read it.
All right, I can't read it.
Leonin for me.
It is celestial.
Does it look like it could, like it was set there and it's supposed to be?
Decorin
lifted
can
up or
read it.
something?
Yep. What does it say?
It says the Hammer of Heaven. This hammer fell from the sky, landing in a basin of water where the founder of this temple used to train. It's said to be a blessing to him, and that Bostis sent it to him, which is very rare. Gods in this setting don't interact with people, like at all, ever. Pretty much under no circumstances. And it said that Bostis sent him a hammer from the heavens, and that eventually he passed on in a battle, and that they've left his hammer here to honor him.
So touching it would probably be an offense, so we shouldn't do that. I wonder what its stats
But I
are. Though.
want to identify it so bad.
You could try to stealthily touch it and cast Identify.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
especially
have
if
I
you-
don't have it prepared, so I would have to ritual cast it.
It'll
So I
take
don't-
10 minutes.
So that's not gonna work.
Turn invisible and then identify it.
Great, yeah, I do have greater invisibility, but I don't have that prepared either.
Last 1 minute anyway, though.
Right.
True.
That would be enough time to cast Identify if I had it prepared, though.
Yeah, you could always
Doesn't-
prepare it tomorrow. We're gonna spend the night
I
here.
can
if you want
prepare
to.
both tomorrow.
Does invisibility wear off at the beginning of a spell or after you cast it?
It depends if it's a harmful spell or not. Like you can and greater invisibility.
Well,
As long
We're
as you
talking
didn't
about
cast a
regular
concentration spell, it would stay up because you can attack with greater invisibility and it stays up.
Yeah. That was my thought, was greater invisibility, and then spend a minute casting a minute regular casting identify.
But does regular invisibility go off like right when you start casting a spell or after you cast a spell? Like if you're casting fire.
It would only be an aggressive spell, I think.
Let's see. Here, I'll post it.
Could we just ask if we could look at it?
easy.
Or cast a spell. So it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be an aggressive spell.
You're right, yeah.
Like what the
You just want to go ask somebody, can we touch your hammer?
No, just say, hello, we are very interested in your hammer. We like strong things and vastus. And
You see the person here that's actually running the place is a just ripped, shirtless Asimar, actually. With slicked back ears and very pale skin and kind of glowing yellow eyes. And they turn back to you and says, "Hello, have you come to better yourselves in the light of Bastus?"
yes, I hope to be ripped someday, like you.
Come,
I-
quickly. We have a training regiment about to start. And he turns and you see this like this big contraption. It's almost like monkey bars, but they go upwards in like a spiral.
Boots will, of course, do it.
Make an athletics check.
This is gonna go so well.
Hey, it's not
actually
bad.
not bad.
It's a DC 15, so you make it all the way up the platform, and you get to the top, and he's like, "Haha, excellent!" And there's a mirror at the top, and he's flexing in it, and you get to the top, and you're just like, your arms, you can't feel them, you're just like, and he's just
Like, I did it.
"Well done, young girl. Keep working
I
like that, and
Did
someday
it.
you'll be strong enough to be honored by Bastus. Come now!" And he starts climbing his way back down before you can talk to him more.
Give me a minute. Give me 5 minutes. I have a question.
You're just way up high now, and you're stuck up there.
Yeah, I'm screaming at him.
How high is it?
It'd be like 15 feet up.
I'll try to get under her just in case I need to catch her.
I guess I'll climb back down. Do I need to make another athletics check? Oh, okay.
You fall,
Ooh.
Kryn catches you.
But I got up there, Kryn. Did you see I got up there?
Yeah, that was impressive.
Thank
I
you.
wasn't sure you were gonna make it.
I didn't think I would either.
You look over and you see the guys now doing push-ups.
I'm gonna
I had
go.
a question. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, what is your question?
Well, what was Rogard gonna do?
No, go ahead.
41,
Boots is-
42,
oh.
40.
I'm actually gonna, as she's asking a question, I'm gonna pick Boots up and sit her on his shoulders like piggyback ride style.
Glorious, 46.
Can I'm very interested in your hammer. Can I look at it?
Oh, of course.
Can I touch it?
If you can lift it.
Cool.
What happens
can
if we can
lift
lift it?
Oh, it's just really heavy.
Oh, okay.
Once I hear that, I'm gonna go over and try and lift it.
It's a DC 25 athletics check to lift it.
Damn.
If I rage, do I get advantage on those?
Yeah.
Then I will rage.
Oof.
Very embarrassing for Rogar as you're all standing around watching him unable to lift the hammer.
He's not
Jeez.
worthy.
Got a +9.
This is just sleeping on this guy's shoulders.
He doesn't notice you're there and he like gets up and like walks around doing other exercises.
Takoran, you can touch it. They said it's fine.
Okay, sure. Then I'll cast Identify. Ritually.
So it's a +1 Great Hammer. With a bonus ability for once a day, you can essentially leap high into the air and slam the hammer down into the ground, and it does a massive blast of both radiant and fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It does an additional die of damage. So it's 2d12 instead of 1d12. But the caveat is you need a strength of at least 22 to wield it.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
So if Rogar had a 22 strength, would he even have to make a check, or could he just go
No,
pick
then
it up?
You could just pick it up.
Okay.
Do we have a book that gives him +2 strength?
Gonna have to get one.
Those are quite rare, but we'll keep an eye out.
I mean, you
Not
technically
very
have a
rare.
potion that'll let you have at least 22 strength for like an hour.
Yeah, it'll give me 25 strength.
Just enough time to steal their hammer.
And then not be able to use it.
We'll put it on the cart and it'll break the cart.
Well, should we go see this council, I guess?
Well, I'm sure they'll serve a half decent meal.
I'm interested in seeing what all of the different, quarters are, if they're different specialties, or I'd like
Sure,
to know
yeah.
more about the lore of Lavencaster.
So you guys would be invited to dinner. It is inside Keep Lavencaster.
Well, do we get to see the quarters first and see what they're kind of about?
Oh, absolutely. So let's see, which one's closest? The Valadin Quarter. It's mostly housing. It's just like a bunch of houses and like smaller apartment complexes. It's kind of like the residential area for cheap housing and like middle class housing. It's like super landlord, whoever owns that. The Galduran Quarter is kind of the town guard quarter. So it's all just working guards and town defense. The Iridinian Quarter is diplomacy and foreign diplomacy. So diplomacy for everyone in the borderlands. They get all their letters here. They send all their letters out. And they kind of keep tabs on what's going on in other places of the borderlands. Tilborn is farming and agriculture. It's mostly plots of farmland. And what else is there? The Neridian Quarter is law and justice. So that's what the courthouse is and the prison.
All right, cool.
In the Halifarian Quarter?
Halifarian. Oh, that is sales and commerce.
Oh, cool.
You guys,
City market.
that's the market.
Ah.
3 buy stuff. You make your way to Keep Lavencaster. There's a butler outside who would ask him, "What would you, could you all please be given your name so that you may be announced upon entry into the dinner?"
Gren.
Boots.
Decorin.
This
and
one's
then Rogar
Rogar.
the Destroyer.
Edward.
I would have actually had a discussion with everybody if I guess we're trying to keep his identity a secret, but I almost wonder, if the Emperor would be interested in actually meeting this council as the Emperor.
We could ask him.
Whatever you guys think is the best decision.
Let's, if we're gonna do that, let's tell the council themselves once we're inside. I think the fewer people that know, the better.
Well, you've never met any diplomats outside of
I've
the
met
capital?
diplomats, but they come to me usually.
Have you met any of these?
Oh no, the borderlands would never come into the capital for really any reason. They don't like us very much.
So do you think it would be better for him to meet them when they don't think he's the Emperor? Or
Well,
do you
my
think...
concern would be that they would immediately, spread that around or talk to the town and say, "We just had the." Oh, he doesn't talk like that. My concern would be that they would go around and say, "We just had the Emperor over for dinner. I'm Lord whatever, and the Emperor came to visit me."
Well, if you'd rather not, then we certainly don't have to.
Why don't we feel it out and then we'll decide?
That
Sure.
makes sense.
So, you guys make your way in. You're announced as you walk in, Takorin, Rogar the Destroyer, and no one else is in the room. You're announced to an empty room. And then he
Oh.
kind of looks apologetic and says, sorry, they like to make their own entrances when they come in. But it's just tradition that anyone who enters is announced.
That's
Whatever.
fine.
You guys sit down. Second door opens. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask if there was a snack table.
So out here would be bread and some like corn and
Breadsticks.
Yeah.
Free breadsticks.
I was gonna say Bruce is like munching.
As
uh,
they enter, you're
napkin.
like, eh.
the door opens and you hear a voice call out, ho, ho, ho! And you watch as this jolly-looking, massive, just hulked out Goliath makes his way in, and he's got like clothes on that are way too small, and he's like, well, if it isn't the Lord of Coin, all the way from the Empire, Wayne Valadan, nice to meet you. He comes in for a handshake,
Oh yeah.
just crushes your poor elderly gnome hand.
Yep.
Like, you're in so much pain. And they just, yeah, well, I'm Wayne Valadan, master of construction and housing. So before the stuffies get here, anybody want to have a little fun? A little drinks? Anything
Yeah.
else? Drinks, smokes?
Drink.
I'll have both.
I like your style. Pulls out a big box of cigars, slaps it on the table, pulls out like 3 flasks, passes them around. He's just a very jolly, loud, large. He's a presence.
He's a Texan.
The second person to come in is Badr Galdavan. He very like he walks very weird. He puts like his left foot in front of his right foot every time he walks, so he's like walking in a straight line. And this is a human. He's in fine arms and says, "Pleasure to
He's
meet
doing like
all
a
of you."
heel toe walk.
Yes, he's doing a heel toe walk. Pleasure to meet all of your acquaintances. I am the noble of defense within the city. Thank you all for coming, and Lord of Coin, it is good to see you. I hope that you are not a threat to our city. And he sits down.
I'm gonna look to Corin up and down, and then I'm gonna look back at this guy, and then I'm gonna look at Corin and just shrug.
Next in is Rissa Halifarian. She's a small halfling female with red hair that's very, very short. And she comes in very fine dress robes, like super expensive shoes, like super well dressed. She says, "My lords, I am Rissa Halifran. I'm in charge of the sales and commerce for the city, charmed, I'm sure. I'm very pleased to have you here. I hope that this is in regard to some type of trade, Lord of Coin. We could, of course, be very mutually beneficial. Money is always to be made here in the Borderlands, honey." And she sits down. Next up is Ton Iridian. He comes in. Looks the most normal. He's just an elf, and he says, "Pleasure to meet you all. I'm the Lord of Diplomacy here. I'm looking forward to these negotiations, whatever they may be." And he sits down. Next up, he says, "Lord Remy Tilborn," and a guy comes in overalls with a piece of straw in his mouth, and he goes, "Hi, name's Remy. I'm in charge of farming around here. I'm the Lord of Noble of plants and stuff."
Yeah.
And then Drillian Adarian, is a female elf. She comes in basically what looks like a judge's outfit. Looks like she was just judging at a court and was called to dinner here. She says, "Apologies for my attire. I was working. I don't really know what's going on. I got called here last minute. I'll just sit down."
Are elves common here, or is random 2 elves on the Council of 6?
They're not common, but they're not rare either. These are they're not really like high elves. They're probably like more 3/4 elves. They're like elves who are probably not raised in elven society. They're not the high elf hoity-toities that you're used to.
They're mostly elves.
They're elfish.
They're elf-ish.
Elf light. Well, I guess I'll kick things off. I noticed you had a sign outside. It was barring trench people from entering the city, and I'm from the borderlands, but I've been out of the loop for a little while. What have they been doing so that you've necessitated barring them from the city?
Valadan, the massive Goliath, speaks up and says, well, they suck generally. There's real assholes coming around telling people what to do. They smell bad, really. Like, whew, take a fucking shower. Yeah, just generally overall pieces of shit, in my humble opinion. And Iridian, the diplomacy elf guy, is like, well, we feel that their goals are not in line with Lavencaster's best interests.
How vague and unhelpful.
You know, we've heard similar things from everywhere we've been, from Airedale to Lowry. When did they,
Well, our main concern, and this is Rissa, the small halfling with the short red hair, says, is that they are quite, they're growing very rapidly, trying to establish control where they don't belong, frankly. And those that disagree with them tend to go missing, frankly. We are in fear for our safety. They are growing massively, recruiting everywhere they go with the lure of gold and, well, gold's the ultimate lure, of course. I'm not going to say that gold's not a vice for me. We all have gold here. But just generally, we feel that they are bad people that are trying to seize power in the Borderlands. And the Borderlands is not a place for power, it is a place for community.
Well said.
And gold. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just would say well said. I think that, like, I hadn't thought of it that way, but yeah, place for community.
Well, that's all we have, darling. We don't have a government or an army. If we don't look after each other, no one else will. There's no one to overthrow a tyrant in the Borderlands, which this risen jackalope seems to be. We only have each other to rely on here. We're it. Lavencaster City is its own support network. And if we need help, we would rely on nearby towns, and they would rely on us. There's no room for one to try to get ahead or rule. We'd surely all collapse. The Borderlands cannot be ruled. It is a whirlwind, and if you try to contain it in a vial, it will shatter.
I take it they sent you similar demands of the town up north its name is escaping me?
Lowry?
Lowry, thank
Yeah, they've been sending us demands about, like, codes and taxes and things, but fuck them.
Do they seem as if they'll eventually get to the point where they could try to force these upon you?
They don't strike me as the army type. They're more of a pick and choose, right? If we don't go with what they say, they'll send in those dust people. They have these assassins. They call them dusters or something. And they're just gonna pick off the people they don't like and try to install people they do.
More subtle.
Yeah, they don't. No one in the Borderlands has an army. No one's raised an army in the Borderlands forever, ever. And they some doofus named the Risen is not going to be able to amass an army. There's just not enough quarry to establish yourself an army here. They're going to have to do it subtly if they want power. It's just been working out pretty well for them.
How so? Where have they gotten power?
Well, the closest 3 or 4 towns to the trench or the gutter has been seized completely. The trench is pretty much closed off now. I mean, it's not really a town anymore. It's more of a compound or a fortress. Nobody gets in or out. God knows what they're doing in there. They've just shut their doors and closed their blinds, and they're up to shenanigans.
Well, you say they've been recruiting in massive numbers. Is that not possible that they could be building an army? Especially with the beasts they've been trying to capture?
I don't know about beasts, but their numbers aren't enough to take down walls, you know? I mean, even if you had a few hundred men, you can't siege a city like Lavencaster. You'd need 10 times the number of men they're going to be able to acquire. That's what that one, that one fella tell us? He gave us some info on him, gave us a couple warnings, and the halfling goes, "Oh yes, Tobias, I believe his name was. He came through a bit ago and gave us some warning about their impending rise to power. So we had some heads up. He's been traveling around and making sure people are caught up on the news."
Tobias, you say? Any idea where he's at?
Oh well. He came to us from the dwarves, I believe, and I think after us he was heading. Oh, I don't recall. I'd have to check my notes. Please, dear, and they go over like the visitor log and look through it, and say, "Oh yes, you said he was heading to Hopsford next. He'd gotten everywhere near the border and was going to slowly make his way back up, hitting all the towns, letting Airedale know, letting Hopsford know, and letting the next towns that he could know before he made his way back to the trench to continue whatever he was doing there before. So he's either back there or he's still traveling there."
Thank you.
It's cool.
Yeah. And what information do you have about these fire starters that we've been hearing about?
Oh, fire starters. You know, people have been blaming the Havdalians, but they're quite preposterous. Havdal's a loving god. What I've heard is that the fire's coming up from the earth and burning places asunder. Very strange. Some type of inactive volcano beneath the borderlands, perhaps. That's my theory, but the dwarves thought that was preposterous. They've been mining these lands for a while.
22 insight check.
She seems to think it's a volcano, but the dwarves don't think it's a volcano, and they're underground.
Can I make an intelligence check to see if that makes any sense at all? 19.
Doesn't make sense to you.
Okay.
Probably magic or something.
I'm gonna ask them if is there a town nearby here that has been attacked or set on fire?
Hopsford was burnt a while ago, but I think they've rebuilt. I know the dwarves have been having some trouble in their mines as well, but they're secretive. They won't give us the details.
Do you think there could be any connection between the two?
Oh, I think not. Perhaps, maybe.
So you don't know.
We don't like to say "I don't know" in politics. We like to say "perhaps not," or "perhaps."
But I don't know would be more accurate.
And then you hear the Goliath go, "They got you."
Oh, he appreciated that. I love it.
Well, Lord of Corn, what brings you to Lavencaster? I apologize, we haven't even gotten to the matter of business. Do you have trade for us?
Well, yeah, and I'll go into all the. Because I would imagine that I'd be fairly familiar by this point. A year plus into my.
Yeah. So, if you would like, you can start the beginnings of the process of like a trade route between Lavencaster and the border.
Broker a trade agreement.
Well, you're so close to the actual border.
By the way, no one has traded with the Empire in the Borderlands like since the war started. This would be like the first time the Borderlands and the Empire exchanged goods.
So that's something that would be frowned upon, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna give the emperor a look. Just look at him and insight check him when trade is brought up.
Yeah, make an insight check.
The other thing to consider too is if all of a sudden magically the Lord of Coin brokers the trade agreement while we're down here, everybody when we get back will know we weren't anywhere near where we said we were going on this trip.
The impression you get from the Emperor is that he's one. He doesn't really think they have anything that the Empire really needs. Like it's like if a city wanted to trade with a country. Like that just doesn't really happen. But he thinks that it'd be cool to have an actual paper connection to somewhere in the Borderlands.
Well, because I would imagine Lavencaster, is it the biggest city in the Borderlands, or?
It's not the biggest, but it's pretty big for the Borderlands. It's a lot of small towns.
And they do trading, with other cities in the Borderlands. So I almost wonder if this could be
a hub
set up as more of a connection point to all of the other cities.
They'd be very interested in that.
A Constantinople, as it were.
Yeah, they'd be very interested in that. But Brian's point does stand that would be a little weird. Maybe it's something you could figure out later over.
Right. What I would be pitching this as is an idea that I would take back to the Empire and pitch to the Council.
So saying, would you like us to use your city as a port for all trades through the Borderlands? They are so on board with that idea.
Yeah.
That's a very good deal for them.
Yeah.
And they immediately all go into like kiss butt mode, and they're just like, oh brilliance, Lord. Brilliance, my Lord. Yes, of course. And then you hear the farmer go, I gotta ask, what y'all think of that new Emperor? I heard he's ain't nothing but a little shrimp fella.
What have you heard about him? I'm very interested to know this.
Yes, I would like to hear that unsolicited myself before we give you our opinions.
I heard that his old lord Lordicon disrespected him, and so he turned him into a devil and sent him to hell. That true?
I would say that is not accurate.
I think it's accurate.
We all get side eye.
Boots. Always.
I'm just saying, you don't become the emperor of such a big place without some weird fucky devil magic, you know?
Well, maybe you just get born into it because his father was the emperor, huh?
He looks like he has to think about that for a little bit.
Yeah, I would regale them with a vague story of what happened to Goldbad, because we were so central in that scenario. But I wouldn't give them heavy details, but yeah, I would tell them the general story as we know it.
I don't know what general story. Does that mean like, oh, he was doing some illegal practices,
consorting with demons,
or are you saying like he was consorting with demons?
Yeah, we had discovered that that he had a patron.
Some adventurers discovered. Not necessarily us. Some adventurers discovered.
The Emperor.
Well, why not us?
Oh, sure, it could be us.
Because it was us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a pact with an arch succubus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, wow, oh, my lord, you're so brave. Wow, stunning, my lord. And one guy's like, killed a demon, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this guy over here, Cran Kiss one, the arch succubus's incubuses.
Oh, it would be so cool if Rogar could tell them about that, but
I know that would.
He's like, man, I ain't never killed a devil before, but this one time I caught a wild hog and I ripped it cheek to cheek with my bare hands.
Nice.
Insight check.
Sure.
7. It's impressive. Hogs are sturdy animals.
I'm a Goliath.
The farmer is a Goliath too?
By the way, what was
that was the Goliath? That wasn't the farmer.
By the way, what was the Emperor's initial reaction when the Goliath walked in?
Startled. It's like if you walk into an HR meeting and the HR guy's like, "Sup, fucker?" Like it's like, "Whoa, all right."
Well, no, just like the size of him.
It's like I do not know what the correct tone is here. He's like, "Is this how politics work here? Is this how I was supposed to talk?" He was very, just like out of his depth. Like he doesn't know whether to respond and be like, "What's up, bro?" or to be like, "Oh, my lord," or to just be quiet. Like,
yeah.
He's like, this is how politics is done in the Borderlands. Helbrim was right.
I'm gonna ask them if they know, like, the most recent fire attack that they're aware of.
Oh, that would have been hops for. There's still a few fires nearby that they're working on putting out, I think.
Interesting. How far is that from here?
Oh, Hopsford is 6 days journey, 7 perhaps. So you guys are about 10 days it's between you guys and the trench.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to hit it on the way there, which we were planning
Yes.
on doing. Right? Okay, perfect.
So it goes here, Airedale, Hopsford, and then there's one more city that way, and then the trench.
Beautiful.
Where
Definitely wanna
were
make
the
sure we hit that place.
dwarves?
Where was what? Sorry.
The dwarves. Sorry, I didn't want to cut Brian off.
Oh, the dwarves are in Nuxforwat.
Ah, okay. Were we gonna stop there?
I don't think we have time.
If you stopped there, you would have to go to SRA straight from there.
Okay. So we weren't gonna do that. We were just gonna go across.
We can always come back.
Yeah.
I
But,
mean, we could, in theory, go to SRA straight from there. Is there any reason not to?
Well, then
Kryn has heard that Tobias is in the area and opposing the people in the trench, which it would be a very hard sell to get him to not want to go there.
I would like to ask if the council has access to a teleportation circle here.
Yes, and a unicorn.
Hmm.
Teleport mages who can cast teleportation circles have not been around for hundreds of years. The magic was lost with the giants. Teleportation magic is gone, lost knowledge.
Ah,
I go, Tokarin, come on. Don't you know? You with your fairies and your unicorns, your centaurs, like those are all real things that exist
Hey,
here.
centaurs are real. We've seen them in the Stirring Wood.
Talk about
that's a good reaction. Thank you. I like that. That's a myth.
Well then, we spend the night in Lavencaster if there's nothing else to discuss. At the
Oh
moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the next day, I think we're gonna end the mini session here.
All right.
Seems like a good place.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late actually.
It is.
A mini session that was like almost 4 hours long.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm all for it. I just think Nicole might be asleep over there.
I'm a little tired. I'm gonna be honest,
Oh.
but I'm okay.
And so dwarf next, trench next.
Trench.
Trench. Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
if
Yeah, we'll
other
see.
people
Sorry, go ahead.
if other people want to do otherwise, we can discuss. But
well, I want to do trench next, but I want to hit that city that was set on fire on the
well, it's on the way.
On the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the purpose, Thomas, is I want to try my whole look at what happened way back when ability and see if I
I
can
see.
garner from it.
Yeah, very interesting.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
Test it
Mhm.
out. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Trial run.
See if we can poke some holes in that before we try and do that for the general. Yeah, I try to see if I could use my influence to let us borrow a horse and cart just to take to the next town up, where we would leave it there.
We could just buy one.
That's true. We could.
A horse
That's
and
not how
cart.
this works. The poor people have to buy stuff, but the rich people get stuff given to them to use.
That is
I
the way the
understand.
world works, though.
A horse and cart is 200 gold for both.
I mean, I know we can afford it, but do we want to afford it?
The emperor would reach into his purse.
Speaking of, should we do the training for those 3 nights with the Emperor?
Yes.
I'll do one.
Do you want to learn to read the stars, or
Sure.
how
Well,
to
you
make...
have your new fancy star map, the hologram map.
I do, but he could also learn how to make flower crowns. They're two very important things that Boots is very proficient in.
Do you want? That's not great. So he passes that one.
Does Crane want to do one and Drosselli want to do one?
He does not pass mine.
He's not very good with a gun.
Always Rogar.
Pushing the barrel of the gun away, like,
Oh, hey,
don't
there you
point
go.
it at people.
But I have to shoot people. Drogar and Jarsali both roll a d10.
You know, it would be very interesting because I am assuming I touched some kind of tree back in Airedale, right?
Probably, yeah.
Who wants to transport via plants?
Yes.
Do you have?
Sure.
What?
Yeah, it's a level 6 spell, so you'd have
Yeah,
access to it.
I
Yeah.
do.
When did we last level up?
It's a little while ago.
I think immediately. Did we do it right after the 1 year? Or no?
Yeah, it was after the year break.
Yeah, we did it right
Is that
after
the last
the
time
year.
you guys leveled up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
I'm debating whether or not to have you guys level up now or after the trench.
Probably after.
I'm gonna
the
have you
trench.
guys level up now, and then
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yay!
and then that means you guys will be higher leveled for whatever happens at the trench.
Well, we can transport via plants to get back quickly.
God, that's such a good spell. That means you can go all you can go so far with that. That's so
I can go anywhere.
That means
You know how
we don't
many
need to worry about-
plants?
We don't need to worry about teleportation circle almost as much anymore.
Right?
Now.
Well, I was debating taking teleportation at this level.
well now.
Do you want me to just do?
Now you're
'cause
free to do that other thing you wanted to
You
do.
know how many plants she's touched in the Empire City, Seer,
And the jungles. You could
know,
go
and
right
the
to them.
jungles. Oh, that's so true.
I was a little concerned about going back via teleportation circle after Helgrim topples the Emperor and having like 800 soldiers waiting for us there. So now we can just do it by a tree, some random place, and they'll have no idea.
Yeah, there'll be a tree right outside our wayward tower.
Yeah. Well, that was actually something Boots had been growing in the tower. She was growing a tree.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's why she wanted the top so that she could grow a tree
Yeah,
literally
she
out of
grew
the
it.
window.
She grew a tree out the window.
Yeah, I think
Nice.
I know I told people that before.
Oh, yeah.
So she can literally go anywhere.
God, that's such a
But
good
it is,
spell.
yeah, it is my 1 6th level spell right now. Anyway, so we can just go transport via plants straight back to Airedale.
Yeah, I'm not going to take teleportation then, because I think we're fine with that. For at least another level.
Cool. Well,
Which,
that was
yeah,
a
I
fun,
can take
bonus
my-
D&D, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, one son.
Good.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's why I took a nap.
You
But
did
I was
not-
getting
you
tired.
did
like,
not take a nap. You lied.
I took like 20 minutes.
Oh,
And then I laid in bed.
my naps are like 5 hours.
You just sleep. You
That's
just
a nap. Nap is
regularly
sleeping.
sleep. No. You just like sleep instead of having a normal sleep schedule.
You sleep when you're tired.
Oh my god.
Am I the only one who gets this?
Concept of the nap.
A nap is a shortened amount of sleep. You just have like a full.
You sleep until you're not tired.
No, that's not what a nap is.
Then what's the
You sleep
point?
for a short duration of time.
You can probably stop the recording, Jay.
Okay, fine.
No, future us needs to hear this argument.
Bye, future us. Bye.
Bye, future us.